Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. I'm your host, Cody Lashley, back again for another edition of the show that is for the fans, by the fans. The link is in the description box for everyone to join. If you would like to, you can be a part of the show, let your opinion be heard. If it sounds like I'm in a box, your boy's microphone took a shit, dude. And there's nothing I can do about it, man. All I can do is roll with the punches. If I sound like I'm in a box or that I'm fighting a robot or something like that, well, you know why. I'm dealing with a janky-ass headset, bro. But we'll get it done. The Friday free-for-all goes on, unencumbered. You already know what it is. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You already know some of these C3 faithful we got on the show today, man. You know them and love them. We haven't seen this man in a minute, but I'm happy to see his handsome face. I don't even care. Do y'all call another man handsome? No homo. I don't give a shit, bro. It's Nate Montero. Nate, what's up, dude?
What up, man? It's Friday. I've been looking forward to this for a couple weeks now. At that Pats game,
Yes,
to
sir.
watch that Bills game though. That was great. We needed that.
Yeah. A lot. Two wildly different performances, you know? One that'll leave you wanting a lot, and then another one that leaves you feeling pretty damn good about what our team might be. So,
Dude,
a
and the
lot.
only thing that made that thing even more fair, and it sucks to say it, but was the fact that Zane Gonzalez went down. So we didn't
Yeah.
have anyone to kick, and they didn't have anyone to punt off. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a story to follow, man. That kicker position, I swear, it's cursed for us. It's been that way ever since we let go of Graham Gano. That's been a cursed position for us, but yeah, it's definitely rough. But we'll discuss it, man. So much to discuss today. Next up, my man Panther Pickle Kenneth. What's up, brother? Happy you can be here joining the free for all. How are you?
Wonderful, man. You can call me a lot of things, but handsome ain't one of them.
Oh,
But it
don't
is
tell
what
me
it
what
is.
I can't do. You're a handsome man too. I'll say what I want to.
Oh, yeah. Browns fans, ice up, son. Ice up.
Ice up.
Ice up, Browns fans. Because Baker, he's got your bottle. And he's going to kick your bottle.
Hey, I'm feeling it, man. The more and more time goes on, I like the bravado. I like
Yep.
what he's bringing to the table. He hasn't fully converted me yet. I still need to see a little more, but I'm liking what Baker Mayfield's done so far. Next up, my man Drew. Drew, how are you, brother? Happy to have you back on the Friday free for all.
What's going on, fellas? The countdown is on. 9 days to kick off. 9 days to the bloodbath. And guts,
Yes,
as Steve
sir.
Smith would say. So Cleveland coming to town. Hopefully our guys are ready to stop the run, because I'm sure Nick Chubb is going to be up to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, I hate to break it to you, Drew, especially 9 days beforehand. We can't stop the run. I've seen it. We just can't. So
Oh man.
Have some
It was
faith, Nick. Have some faith.
fit.
you and I were both at that Pats game, dude. You and I were both there.
Phil
Okay.
I'm
Snow.
just saying, they
I'll
were
tell you.
playing backups.
And I'll tell you
Yep.
what, though, seeing what our front was able to do against Buffalo, granted, Buffalo was playing backups, but dude, Derek Brown, it looks like he might take that step this year, y'all.
Mhm.
I mean, finally, you know.
I
and
tell you what, I'd like to see them line up Derek Brown and McCall together. I know
Oh, that would be nice.
I just
Yeah.
see. Plus, I heard what did y'all hear what Phil Snow said in his weekly presser? He was talking
What about
about
getting Brandon Smith on the field?
that. He also said about multiple fronts. Somebody asked him about including on 4-man fronts, and he said that we have enough people to do multiple fronts. That's
Yeah.
all he would say. So
No, yeah, and I agree with him. I think
yeah,
that
yeah,
we do have a good bit of
yeah.
talent that allows
Mhm.
us to be versatile in what we do this year. Next up, let's welcome the boy. You already know him. It's the man, White Chocolate Espresso. My brother, what's up, dog?
Not much, man. I just got done watching the new Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah, I did
How
too.
was it?
Yeah,
That's
Fred,
all right. Pretty
like
good.
not even 2 hours ago, I finished
Yeah,
episode
just fine.
2.
You think
They,
that's
is
what I
the
think
whole
it
show
is?
out?
Hmm?
Is the whole show out, or are they doing
Just
it
2
like week by
episodes.
week?
Every week, but they released the first 2 episodes. And I'm not a big time Lord of the Rings fan,
Mm-hmm.
but dude, I'll be damned if it don't look pretty.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm actually watching it now.
yeah, dude, it's a really good show. I like uh, the world, the characters, and
Do you
again, I'm
think
not.
that's who that is? The guy with no name? I think who I think it is. I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, at the end, the dude who lands. Yeah, I do think that that's probably who that is. Yeah,
Hmm.
and dude, I don't know shit about Lord of the Rings, and I can probably think that that's who that is. But
Yeah.
anyway, dude, we're off topic as we ought to do. Again, if you would like to join, the link is in the description. I'll post it up here in the chat room here in just a second if there's anyone that would like to join. But let's just jump into it, man. Someone's got the speaking spell going. But all right, let me ask you all this. We talked about it a little bit on Tuesday night, but the free for all is for y'all. So what I want to know is, what did Baker Mayfield actually say? It was so blown out of proportion. This whole interaction between Cynthia Frelund. I can play it if you guys wanted to hear it again, but a lot was made about it, and a lot was made about Baker Mayfield saying he's gonna fuck up the Browns. Now Baker Mayfield has since responded to it, said that there was no truth to it. But before I do, fellas, what did you make of all this? And we're gonna start with Panther Pickle. Panther Pickle, what say you, man? And by the way, 10 Tizzy, hell yeah, you should join, brother. There's never been a better time than right now. Get your ass in here, bro. Go ahead, Pickle.
Yeah. You know what? If it was, I would have responded that way. You know, reports was she walked up to him and she says, "Glad you're here. I hope you kick butt or kick ass." And he said what he said. He said, "We're gonna fuck him up." You know what? That's what I would say. It just is. But I'm country, and that's just what I would say. And then I got on national television. Somebody said, "Did you say that?" I said, "No. Nice guys don't say that." Now, I probably would say, "Yeah, I said it," but I'm not him. I'm not him, and I don't involve all the politicalization that he has to do. So I would deny it too, even if I knew I said it. Now, the big deal is, can our team back it up? I think they can. We may not win another game this year, but I think we're going up there and we're going to clean the Browns' clock.
Yeah,
I really do, and I like to see that. I want a 50 burger.
And by the way, it's like
humiliation game.
Even if Baker didn't say that,
Yeah,
we all know that's how he feels.
yeah.
I mean, how could you not feel that way
Yeah.
given the circumstances around this game?
And let's be honest, if he would have said, "You're damn right, I said it, and I mean it. We're going to kick their damn ass." You know how many Panther fans are not just NFL fans would be on his ass right there.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, in a good way. I said, that's the man right there.
I think as football players,
yeah,
Cam Newton and Baker Mayfield are very different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like as public figures, especially playing quarterback,
right,
they're very similar, man. They're a
Right.
lightning rod, and in a way, damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
You know, if he did say that, oh, now he's being arrogant and talking
Yep.
shit and all the things that you're not supposed to do as a quarterback. But you know, then if he takes the high road, well, then it's like, oh, he's hiding something. Why don't you just come out and say it? Or, oh, why are you backtracking now? It's literally a lose-lose scenario.
Mhm.
Shout out to Noah B for the 199. Says, did y'all see the new Panther Confidential? I did. I didn't finish all of it. I came into it a little bit late. I was about to leave right as it was playing. But I did catch the very end of it. It seemed to be shorter than most.
I watched much of it.
Well, if we have some time later on, we'll go through some of the Panthers confidential stuff. But appreciate you, Noah. So listen, this is I want to ask y'all what y'all make of Cynthia Frelund. So this was her initial comments and we'll play them for the purposes of having them on the podcast.
Some butt.
I'm using the first time out.
Let me go ahead.
I'm using the first time out. We only have 3. You ran into Baker Mayfield, former Browns quarterback, recently, and I was hoping you could share an exchange that you had.
It was after the field, or on the field after the game against the Bills, this preseason game 3, and I walked up to him like, "I'm so excited to see you!" Like, go, I was like, "Kick some butt." I didn't say that word, but kick some butt, kid. Yeah. No, like, go kick some butt, especially week 1. I cannot wait. And he uses some expletives, and I was like, "I just hope you're like." He's like, "I'm gonna bleep them up."
Ooh, that's being the Cleveland Browns, the week 1 opponent.
That's
of
our week 1
Carolina
opponent.
Panthers.
Depending on who's listening to this, and it's not 4 people, like that could be a headline across the nation tomorrow because he's not said that publicly the same way.
I'm gonna f them up. Is that what his quote was? Was that what the quote was?
Did you notice how she hesitates? At the very end, she's like, "Oh fuck! I think this just turned into something that I didn't think it was going to." You hear it in her voice.
I don't say curse words on air. I don't want to get.
But was that the quote? Yes. You can confirm.
So and Panther Pickle, kind of what you were saying. It seems like that's kind of how somebody might react in that scenario. Yep. Maybe she is telling the truth. Real quick, how about this man? The voice that makes them moist. CK, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me pretty well?
Yeah, I'm loud and clear with those beautiful pipes. What's up, bro?
Boys, I'm just out here enjoying the weather before it gets too cold, and it's football season, and there's other things to be doing other than sitting outside, spending time in nature. Bro, I'm just, did you guys already have a chance to talk about the Camp Confidential and all that stuff?
No, we're only 13 minutes in, man. We're just talking about this Baker Mayfield comments, wanting to let everybody get their opinion on, did Baker indeed say, "I'm going to fuck up the Browns"?
I think it's just such a big nothing burger, even. It's so irritating. It's similar to it's not to the same controversy, but it's just like Cam Newton's route running to Jordan Rodriguez. It means is literally nothing behind it. Even if he did say it, it's not. I don't think it's something that they're utilizing. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't think that? After what happened up there, you literally gave up so much. Number one, you were drafted number 1 overall as a QB. You led them to their first playoff appearance and win in decades, right? And then you get traded because they traded for a guy who wasn't a number 1 first round pick, who was a great quarterback, who showed signs of elite play, but had so much controversy around him, and you gave up 3 first round picks for that shit. That is insane. And so I would feel that way too. Even if he did say it, who fucking cares? Everybody should be jumping on this train and be like, I am happy Baker's saying that shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it happened she said, "Hey, I hope you fuck him up." And he's like, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure that's probably how that went.
That's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I do have Baker Mayfield's response. I want to play that because, I don't know if it's just Baker's demeanor, but he did seem kind of pissed off by it.
Does that resemble how you feel about Cleveland next week?
Well, first, I didn't say it. Obviously, everybody's going to write whatever story they want. There's history that I've played over the last 4 years. I'm an extremely competitive person. Everybody knows that. If I wasn't wanting to win, then there would be a really big issue of me being quarterback here. So I want to win in everything I do. That'll never change. Now, that is not how I phrased it. That's not even what I said. So I'll just leave it at that.
How did you phrase it, if you don't mind?
I didn't even say anything.
Did you not talk to her at all? Or?
No, I talked to her. I mean, I think she addressed it. She said it. Obviously, you guys can go back and look at what she said. But all I did was great. I hope we win. It's pretty plain and simple. Competitive. I want to win. And I don't think that should be our point.
No, it is funny because he said I didn't say anything, but then he refers to her and how she addressed it. And basically, it's kind of like what Panther Pickle said. They were walking by each other. She said, hey, wish you luck. Hey, go fuck him up. It's like, yeah, I'll fuck him up. And then that's basically what it was. But I know he did say I didn't say anything. But I did notice that I don't know if it's just me. Tell me what you guys think. But he does kind of seem pissed off, I think.
Yeah,
stuff like
It rings of team PR.
I think some of the other, even some national reporters spoke on it. There's a point when you're on the sidelines and you're away from the cameras and the press where a player says something that's not supposed to be aired. It's not supposed to be talked about. That's just the way it is. Cynthia's apparently new at doing this a lot, and she broke a rule, so to speak.
Yeah.
And like it or not, she'll feel that effect from other athletes across other games. They'll be talking, she'll walk up, and all of a sudden it gets silent.
Yep.
It's just going to happen.
Can I? I'll say this. I think that he's probably. You've got to keep in mind the history Baker has with media. Like, they have been fabricating stories about him for his entire professional career and most of his college career, right? There's some things that are warranted, and some of the things he feeds into it makes it perfect, like makes it work, like for the narrative that the media creates. But like this, I would be pissed off if I'm him too, because like even if he did say this, like he's already had such a shitty experience with media as it is. Like, I mean, between Colin Cowherd to Mary Kay over in Cleveland, who wanted to post something about him wanting to trade, like asking for a trade or something like that, and Baker responding on Twitter, fake news or something along those lines, or clickbait. Like, I mean, he's got his experiences with reporters already, and so I think that this just adds a little bit of fuel to the fire for him. I think it's going to be hard as a media person who isn't working for the actual team to actually get Baker to open up about anything anymore, because this dude is just going to be so reserved. You're not going to get anything out of him from a media perspective. But I tell you what, that Camp Confidential, if you guys want to talk about that, he did open up a little bit, and he did allude to that week one being a little bit more special. So,
well, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that Camp Confidential. But real quick, Brandon Nodine with the $5 says, "Did you not see a clip on the Cleveland Brown show? She walked it back. She said it and said that he disagreed." Yeah, I heard her clip, but again, she's doing a lot of walking back of things because she knows that she fucked up. She betrayed a dude's trust, and not even trusting like, "Oh, hey, I told you something you weren't supposed to say," but said it in a way that this simple interaction not only did it misinterpreted him, but then it ballooned into this giant story that not only is Baker Mayfield having to ask questions about, but Matt Rule had to field questions about. Other coaches, I'm sure Fitterer got one. It's like it became a bigger deal, and to me, like, she felt bad because of that. So again, I saw her clips. I think what's done is done. There is one more aspect to this story that I do want to touch on before we jump into the confidential, and I actually think that it ties into what CK is talking about with this week one matchup and what it means to all parties involved. And that was, maybe Baker did say it, maybe he didn't say it, but one of the things that I was afraid of is that it would get back to Browns players and what might they think about it. So this is Myles Garrett after hearing about Baker Mayfield's alleged, I'm going to fuck them up quote. He said, "We've known he has that type of demeanor and that attitude, and for better or worse, it works for him. It does the same for us as well. We'll take it and we'll use it." Do any of you think that this has provided, like this whole fiasco has provided the Browns more fuel to exact their revenge on Baker? Or what do you think of any of this?
If they hated him, they already hated him already.
If that's what they needed to get the fire going, they shouldn't be playing in the game.
That's Panther Pickle. You put that. You took that words right out of my mouth, man. I was about to say, like, listen, if they needed the fire from this to get them in the game, it's a problem. Like the reality is they're fighting so many fires in that organization right now as it is. Like the idea of Baker Mayfield's statements being the thing that pushes them over the edge is absolutely asinine. Yes, I believe this is a game of inches, and I believe it's a game of motivation, but I also believe that from not only Baker's perspective, but the Cleveland Browns perspective, when you start to bring emotion because Baker's pissing me off with these statements, like I feel like that's when you start to make the mistakes. And what's going to happen is I think that this I think it's very potential. I think it's a possibility that Baker is under their skin to a point to where they are just aggressive. They're not holding their contain. They're not maintaining they're not holding lane discipline, and they are just trying to get after him to get a sack. And that's going to leave this thing wide open for the screen game, CMC, any of these slot receivers and whatnot to just eat them up. Because I think right now there is a potential for this defense to be playing a little bit too emotionally if they're trying to use this as bait.
I mean, I will say that I don't know if you watched the Last Dance with the Bulls and everything. Michael Jordan made up something said to him to give him extra motivation to win. So, I mean, it could help, I guess, if it helped Michael. That's what he needed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this
Guys,
whole thing
let's
is just
please not.
kind of being overblown. There's obviously history there, and I want my quarterback to be pissed off that he's playing the team that he's playing the team that cut him or traded him. So I'm not really worried about it, and I don't think the Browns are really thinking anything of it.
Probably not.
Yeah, and let's just not compare the Cleveland Browns to Michael Jordan in any way, shape, or form, because that's just
athletes do that, though. I mean, they take little somethings and they always do it.
Well, I think that makes sense in a game that isn't so team oriented. Like Michael Jordan could do that because he's one of one, right? He's also able to impact that team more than any single person on the Cleveland Browns can impact their defense.
Definitely.
Right. And so when you have that, and he plays on both sides of the ball too, right? He's playing offense and defense. Like the Cleveland Browns defense is 45% of their entire team's success. On top of that, Myles Garrett taking offense to that. Each individual person isn't going to be taking offense to this. They're going to try to build it up in that locker room, similar to how Bill Belichick does with any reports that say that the Patriots aren't good. He'll hold that stuff up in the locker room. It's well reported that they try to play this underdog and they're talking shit about you. And, our defense even does the same thing when they talk about us not being in the top 10 of the defense. That makes sense. But like something like this, I just feel like, again, if they're not already motivated to, especially with everything going on, if this is the thing that just makes them go over the edge, I think that they're just not they're not going to be a team to be reckoned with if that's what's taking for them to actually be successful.
Yeah. I mean, John John Fox used to do that, and his staff here. And stuff like that's happened for years, but interesting got brought up in the chat. The Browns are actually down to their third center. It's a free agent guy they brought in from Seattle. He's been out, or he's going to be starting for him at center. Both their starting centers before are injured or one retired, so they're not exactly in excellent shape on their lines either. I did hear this week in practice something that encouraged me, because apparently at one point Icky, I guess, or something, did something wrong or something. Matt Rule really, or not Matt Rule, the offensive line coach really got hot and ticked off about it, and then Icky had to set out a couple plays during practice. So he went back in later on, but it was quit the offensive line coach off pretty bad, and I like that. I really do. I mean, I want him to make him practice hard and be right in practice. Because if you ain't right in practice, come game day, you ain't gonna flip a switch like Madden and all of a sudden know what you're doing.
And I will say this. Go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say, at the end of the day, what do the Cleveland Brown players have to be pissed off at Baker Mayfield for? If anybody should be pissed, it should be Baker.
Right.
I mean, he was one of the few players who was actually proud to say he was a Cleveland Brown.
Right.
And they traded him they got rid of him for a molester, sexual abuser.
Well, a lot of
He
people
was gonna
thought,
miss the first 11 games of their season for being stupid and
Right.
weird.
And they even
I
have
think
a
I think
running
we
back
should
once out.
probably. I think we need to just add this little caveat because as we start to grow, I don't want this to become an issue. Alleged sex offender or alleged assault,
Right.
assaulter. So we should say alleged at this
Correct,
point because
CK.
nothing is. But I agree, like the allegations on top of the amount of assets that it took to give away for him, with not having played in over a year. Like, I think there's too many parts to this or red flags that the Cleveland Browns should have never given into, and then gave him the contract that they gave him. Like,
Yep.
geez Louise, bro.
And
Talk about a guy who's scorned right now. Baker
Right.
Mayfield's.
Right.
Whew.
Akeem Hunt wants out. How many players in the last few years have they had that want a pay raise or out, or just flat out wanted out?
I
Yeah.
think
Somebody
Deontay-
else.
Yeah,
Deontay
so
Johnson.
it's not. I mean, a few bad losses to them at the beginning of this season could derail their entire season. Could have players walking out of the organization.
Well, I think you got to think about it from this perspective too. And I know we want to move on from this, but that Browns offense and defense, to think about it in this perspective, they know now their future is literally on the team right now. Like everything that they have to be successful is on that team right now. They have traded their future for this team now, for a guy who's not going to be here for the first 11 games, for a guy who didn't want to be their teammate. By the way, the Cleveland Browns were the first team he eliminated from the race until money became the sole reason why he was getting traded.
The guaranteed
the-
contract brought him there.
He said the first team that he eliminated, the first team was the Browns.
Right.
And now you're telling me that that's going to be a guy who's building a culture that's a team that wants to fight for one another? Hell no. This dude is caring for one thing and one thing only. That is himself and to line his pockets. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being that person, especially when you have those allegations. Go try to get that money, because you're going to be probably paying it out, right? We don't know the specifics about how much he's paying out, but like, go get your money, do what you got to do, but don't try to pretend like this is a team sport for you, because right now you're clearly playing the it's all about me game.
Nobody chooses Cleveland over ATL.
Right.
I'm not living in Cleveland over ATL.
Especially when you grew up there. Like, you have every reason to want to go back there. They have a great fan base. Obviously, I hate them, but they have a very dedicated and committed fan base. I would even New Orleans would have been better. Like, let's be real about it. He went to the Browns, and it was all about the money. I just you know how slighted we felt when we heard that Matt Rule went back to the Giants to try to get them to match the offer that we made. Like, we were so we felt like, oh my, he didn't even want to come here. You went to imagine choosing 3 other teams over top of your team. Out of 4 people that were interested in you were the first one eliminated, and then he comes back to you because they weren't giving him the money that he wanted. So now you're the only ones that are willing to guarantee. Like, what does that say about you as an organization? His hometown wouldn't match you for that guaranteed money. Come on, bro.
And dude, because it's the Browns, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he started to play for them and then never looked good ever again. You know, it's like the Browns are that kind of football team that you could easily see some shit like that happen.
Yeah, have chemistry, man.
Let's remember, it ain't just Baker. They had actually drafted a guard once, and after a year, they traded that guard they drafted to the Rams.
Yeah,
and he went to the Super Bowl, ended up winning. Got a Super Bowl ring. Thanks for them trading it. He's got a wide receiver that was dumped by the Browns. So, I mean, Browns ain't the only one who have, but to me, the Browns have made up attitudes. That's what they're made up. They don't really have any attitude. They're just all made up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
CK was alluding to some things that Baker Mayfield said on Camp Confidential. Why don't we just listen to Baker?
Shall we?
Now, everyone, get out your popcorn because the Panthers announced Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has officially been named the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. How about that for a Monday?
I said, hey, when we know, we know. We felt like we knew. And at the end of the day, we felt like, Baker's made a lot of progress in a short amount of time. And I hope you guys understand, both those guys are really important to me. And we felt like it was right to make that move for this team, right now. Baker's the quarterback, kind of go from there.
I came here to play. Sam obviously wants to play as well. Both of us, that was the goal we set out to do. So just excitement to be able to, feel, take control, take the reins and go from here. And just, especially with how Sam handled it, unbelievable. Just, him telling me he was there to support and just feeling that freedom to just be excited about where we're headed.
When do your teammates, when do fans get to see the real Baker?
As we get more comfortable within this offense, within this team, getting to know guys and knowing how to poke fun and just kind of bring the best out of everybody here, then you'll start to see it more and more. But just testing the water still. There's definitely certain guys you learn, they're a little testy every once in a while, but you just got to break the shell quickly. Get them to know that it's not too serious when I'm messing with them, that it's all love and respect. Still trying to break J.C. Horn and Chin in. They're just so quiet. Can't really get a grasp on it yet, but it's too easy to poke fun at D-Jack. He just talks all the time.
Hey, Big, why you being so generous today, Doc?
That's a good jump on that,
man.
He's an easy target.
He's a likable dude, man. He's going a long way to really try and, win over some fans, man. We're all pulling for him.
Hey, Cody, did you get a chance to watch Tim Jenkins' breakdown of his preseason game?
I did not, no.
You can pull that up if you want. I'm sure Tim Jenkins, if we plug him, I'm sure he'd be cool with us showing his video. Basically, Tim Jenkins Elite on Twitter, friend of the show. He's come on a few times. He does quarterback breakdowns. He's a former backup QB in the NFL, and he broke down that game, the preseason 3 game, broke down 3 plays of Baker's and talks about how Baker does a pretty good job. Actually praises a lot of what he did. Doesn't have any criticism for what Baker did. Shows some of the plays that he had. Explains the design of the plays and how Baker actually just was on point with everything. And then he does have one play from PJ Walker, but he talks about like how he thinks that Baker is going to very well be capable of effing up the Browns. So it'd be worth a watch if you guys are ever interested in going and checking him out.
Yeah, I can try and pull that up a little bit and try and find some clips from it. But one of the things that I took from that clip is, the interpersonal relationships of a team is obviously very important, and I like the fact that he is trying to go to our players. He's trying to figure out the buttons to push on Jeremy Chin, the buttons to push on J.C. Horn, like to figure out what makes these guys tick, try and make them a better player, but also like it builds that camaraderie, And I think that is the true difference between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, is that all these little extra steps. Yeah, Sam Darnold might be a great guy, a gentleman, all this other shit, but you have to have that dog inside of you, that ability to go out there and not only bring out the best in yourself, but bring out the best in others. Everyone says that Baker's great in doing that. So, I think this is a great opportunity for him to do that. There's lots of great opportunities, man. What can I say? Every single day, there's a new opportunity to do something good for yourself. And you want to know what else you should do? You should be good to your balls, dude. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Fellas, fantasy football draft season is right around the corner. CeeDee Lamb is good, but have you seen these beautiful balls? It's time to get your snake looking right for this snake draft with sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, the leader in below the belt waist and grooming, have created a championship lineup with their Performance Package 4.0. Join the 6 million worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for the playoffs by going to manscaped.com for 20% off, free shipping with the code Panthers. So if you want to support the C3 Panthers podcast, go to manscaped.com, use promo code Panthers. That helps us out a ton, trying to get 8 of these things. By the way, today I used the nose hair trimmers for the first time before I went to an appointment I had. And dude, my whole nose has never felt cleaner than it does now, man. Like, where has nose hair trimmers been my whole life, dude? I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for Manscaped. Keeping my nose looking fresh, looking nice. By the way, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Panthers at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Panthers at manscaped.com. It's time to put the PP back in PPR and get a grip on your pigskin this season with Manscaped. Appreciate Manscaped for sponsoring this show, boys. Yeah, man. So how about this? We're going to the start of the season.
Transaction.
Yeah, transitions, you know. I'm good at them, you know. We're going into the next game of the season. The opening game of the season against the Cleveland Browns, and we're talking about motivation. And I was wondering, what player on our team besides Baker Mayfield do you feel has the greatest motivation to come out there and give their best performance possible?
Cody, before we answer that question, can I say something?
Sure. I mean, I don't want you to be silent.
To the people who come on the Friday free-for-all and show their dicks, before you show them, get a Manscaped.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, preferably don't show your dick, you know, but
if you do,
I guess if you're going to.
You know what? I know people get proud of that stuff, but listen, I use Manscaped and I enjoy it, but I don't show everybody, you know? Now, certain people in this world, certain people I live with might want to see it. And that's all right. But it ain't for advertisement on TV or the computer. So have respect for everybody else. And it's a great product, by the way. Remember, you get 20% off and free shipping.
That's right, man. See, look at my boys up here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We out here doing big things, man. But yeah, let's transition back to this game. I really was thinking about this. I really do think that the player that I'm hoping has the biggest performance, honestly, it might be Dante Jackson. And let me tell you why. You might not like that answer, but I feel like out of every player on our team, Dante Jackson is the one that I see who is the most routinely disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
As in, people don't view Dante Jackson as a premier shutdown corner in the NFL. And I felt like Dante played incredible last season. I'm hoping that he can take that next step forward and really continue to show what he's capable of doing. What player are you looking forward to really showing out in the season opener? Before you answer that, let me welcome my man JD to the stream. JD, what's up, bro?
Yo, what's good? What's good, man? It's a little busy, but I was able to listen to the show. Finally got a chance to call in or hop on the stream.
I like that, man. I like that. I appreciate you joining us, man. Yeah, so mine is Dante Jackson. Who wants to go first? What player are you hoping really just comes in and shows out? Go ahead, Drew.
I'll go, and I'm sure everybody's got their individual play, but I'm gonna say Ikem Ekwonu, because everybody's been ranting and raving about Myles Garrett, and I hope Ikem comes out and plays like Rashawn Slater did last year and just shuts Myles Garrett down.
Yeah, dude, how pumped would Panther Nation be if Ikem Ekwonu, his literal first NFL game, goes up against Myles Garrett and shuts his ass down? Dude, that would be the stuff of legends, man. Like that's how you make your start.
Dante Brown. Dante Brown. Been ridiculed. He's been called a bust. He's been
You mean Derrick Brown?
Yeah, Dante.
Yeah,
I got stuck. I got stuck on a big man. I see my problems.
Hey man, I'll take the blame for that one. I've been the one talking so much about Deontay Brown. That's my fault.
Yeah. Anyhow, Derek Brown. Derek Brown's been ridiculed. He's been called a bust by Panther fans and non-Panther fans. You know, I think the chips right now for him are it's now. Now, this year, he has to make an issue. We got a big, long depth at tackle. Coaches like them all. That's why we got 6 defensive tackles on our roster.
Yeah.
Now, a few months ago, so Scott Fitterer made a reference that I forget about most of the time. And if you watch enough football, you remember it. After the first regular season game, veteran contracts are no longer, or the veteran, the bonuses are no longer guaranteed.
Yeah.
So it's easier to sign a veteran guy after the week 1.
Okay.
So Derek Brown I think this is his game. I think he wants to make an issue, and I look for him to embarrass the Cleveland offensive line.
That's
if
a
he
great
plays
one, man.
like he did in the Bills game, man, because I don't know what was going on there. It's like he flipped the switch and he played pissed off. Someone definitely pissed in his Cheerios this morning.
They
It's
need
like,
to do that
dude.
about 17 more games.
No, whatever you guys did before that game, do that again. Just don't let him hurt himself next time.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of Christian McCaffrey in the chat room.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
that was what I was going to go with.
Yeah,
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Robbie Anderson. He's been.
Okay.
Everybody's saying trade him. He's trash. He's over it. Drops. If he comes out and just balls out, like him and Baker. Remember, no, you didn't want Baker as a quarterback. If he comes out and puts up like 100 yards and a touchdown, silence everyone up.
That'd be awesome, man. Like that deep threat. We've been doing that forever. Go ahead, JD.
Thinking Nixon. I was watching some of his highlights, his college highlights, and some of what he did last season before the injury. And I somehow simultaneously forgot and at the same time wasn't aware of how quick how quick he is to get up to top speed. Like there's a play in particular, I think he's trying to chase down Jalen Hurts, and he forces Hurts to end up essentially just throwing away the ball. Like the ball snap, he like fakes the guard out. Like I'm trying to go inside, and then he just 2-step when he gets around the guard, and immediately he's already chasing. Like Hurts is already at full speed. Like I got to get away, and Nixon he's gaining ground. And I was like, bro, like I forgot this dude was that like as big as he is. I forgot he was that damn quick. Like, yo, if Leonidas, like if they're rotating, I'm fairly certain I'm mispronouncing his name. Ionitis or Leonidas?
Yeah, Ionitis. Yeah, with the I.
Like just rotate Brown, Ionitis, McCall. Like, bro, it's that defense that eat the interior, because I expect people to be doubling Burns, so there should be a lot of one-on-one matchups for everybody on that D line. So it's like, yo, Nixon, if you healthy, can you go out there and show that you were worth being put on the team? Brown, YGM, can you step up and be what we expect you to be? Like, and I try to temper my expectations, because you watch highlights, you're just gonna be like, oh man, yeah, that. So I try to like watch film, and it's just even on plays in which he didn't get there, like you just see it. It's like, yo, like it's almost there.
Yeah. I really like it, the rotation that we have with McCall and Nixon. I think McCall kind of came out of nowhere. He's been looking a beast in training camp so far. And everybody knows, like, I mean, if you've been listening to me for a while, I've been very excited about Davion Nixon and what he has the potential to be in our defense, man. Just being that disruptive 3-tech that we haven't had full time since Kevon Short. I mean, that's big for us. So
he was also mentioned by Scott Fitterer this week. They asked Scott Fitterer about getting edge help, and Scott had made allusion of the tackles and how we like the tackles, and he said there is a lot of strong opinions and feelings that we believe that Davion Nixon could play outside if need be.
yeah.
So that would be very interesting.
Do you think the answer is on the roster as far as left side defensive end, or do you kind of like how you were alluding to after the week 1, since it might be easier to pick up people, do you think we'll wait till a little bit later into the season to pick up some more edge help? Or do you think that they're looking at guys like YGM, guys like Amari Barno,
I think they're going to give these guys a chance, but I also think that it's going to be tongue in cheek, so to speak, because if later on this year we feel the need to go get one, and it's not because of injury, somebody's lost their job. It's not going to be someone which just they may tell you they're going to bring him in for coaching, to help the young guys, but in the end, somebody's going to lose their job.
I think they might do it like wait for somebody's price to go down in free agency. Maybe they're trying to get somebody, and like once the season starts, and
Hey, apologies. I don't know if everyone can see this or not. This is the 53-man roster. Is there any thoughts that anybody had about the final 53? Is there like a position group that you think we might be kind of lacking at?
Linebacker.
I mean,
linebacker. Linebacker. We've got 5 linebackers. I don't remember the last time the Panthers have entered a season and only have 5 linebackers.
We have a shit ton of defensive tackles.
Yeah, we've got 6 defensive tackles. I mean, and if we were that goes back to where Phil Snow made a reference this week. They asked him about positions, about the lack of edge rushers, and with the amount of tackles, is that going to be included on your Joe Person? I think it was. But I'm not for certain. Ask him about that. And he said that gives us more room for multiple fronts. And Phil Snow refused to say it was going to be a 4-3 or a 3-4. He kept saying multiple fronts. I think we're going to see a lot more multiple fronts than we've ever seen in Carolina.
Do you think the quarterback we just picked up will eventually go on the team?
Oh, Jacob Eason?
Yeah, I think so.
Like have him with the practice squad for a little bit, get him in the playbook, and then eventually over time, maybe.
I like Eason. I hope so.
I think TJ's too much of Matt's boy there. I don't think he's going to be getting rid of him.
Well, I think if he looks better, I mean, Sam's on IR. It would be easy just to leave Sam on IR.
I'm just saying, like, if Baker goes down, is he?
Yeah.
Maybe next week, is he bring Eason in on the roster or something like that?
As long as Baker stays healthy for at least the first 4 to 6 games, Sam Darnold will end up being the backup quarterback, guys. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, Drew's right.
Well, he's out the first 4, right?
Drew
exactly. That's what I said. Right. As long as he stays healthy the first 4 to 6 games, but if he gets hurt after that, Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback. I hate to tell
Cody,
you.
Pull that last comment up.
Which one?
The one about he can't come back this year. He was placed on injured reserve before the 53 was finalized. Therefore, he stays on injured reserve. In order for him to come back in like a short-term IR, that's what Sam did. You have to wait till after the 53 has been finalized. Yeah. Julian Stanford was put on IR before the 53 was finalized.
I see a mistake.
He's not coming back this year.
I see a mistake on that thing. It says kicker NA.
So this is before we made our signing.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually two big bits of news that we have not gotten to yet. And I think that we should do that now. That is one of them. But first and foremost, I have not gotten you boys' opinion on the Viska Chenault. we haven't even spoken about this yet. Are we liking Viska Shenault and this addition to our offense? Do you like what we gave up to get him? You know, did you put this on Fitterer? A lot of people put this on Matt Rule because Matt Rule liked him apparently at one point in the scouting process. Viska Shenault, what are we thinking? Do y'all like this?
I like it.
It
He's
depends on
a
how they use it.
discount Debo Samuel.
I don't hate it. I just don't love it either.
I feel you, Kevin. I'm like that. I once we traded it, I kept Googling trying to find out the and I found the when he run the football. But he's not a running. But Matt Rule said he was a wide receiver, and I'm like, yeah.
I just feel like we can get
We'll
that
see.
type of player in free agency.
We'll see.
Well, to my point though, you know, if we're looking at C.J. Henderson as, man, this is a talented young player, and we have not gotten the best out of him yet. Well, couldn't that also be true for Viska Shenault? Like, you know, people are making the comparisons about, you know, Curtis Samuel closer to the Panthers, but then even like a Debo Samuel, not that he is a Debo Samuel, but that he is a similar role in that you're going to be able to use him a lot of different ways. If you notice when you listen to interviews, one of the things that Matt Rule, everybody continues to clamp down on is that my man can block. They're going to put him on the line of scrimmage, and they're going to make him block like a tight end does at times. And he's big enough and powerful enough to be able to do it.
Yep.
So from a versatility perspective, I do like this move. I think that this makes us be more multiple when we're going to pass or run the football.
And remember, Ben McAdoo had him his rookie year down in Jacksonville.
That's the biggest factor.
I think he's a guy that, myself speaking, if I watch him play in one game and he really participates and really does good, then I can say, yeah, this is a good move. I have to wait and see it before I believe it.
The reason I'm really not hyped about it is just because the lack of draft picks we have now.
I mean, to me, it wasn't like we lacked a wide receiver.
Yeah,
we have 7 wide receivers. I mean, there's no way, there's absolutely no way we're going to activate all them on game day.
That's the reason why I say it's about how they use them, because I mean, if they decide to try to utilize him as that wide receiver / running back hybrid player, then I don't think there would be a lot of people that would be upset if Chuba is the guy who's inactive on game day.
But I wouldn't be. But
because Chuba hasn't impressed anyone with his he hasn't impressed me with his ability. Like, you want to see a guy develop, you want to see him get better. Chuba doesn't offer anything that, I mean, hell, Derrick Henry catches balls out of the backfield. He's not out there running routes the way CMC does. But you expect your running back, you don't have to have the greatest hands, but when balls are hitting you cleanly in the hands and you're dropping them, you limit the offense. We saw that in the week 3 preseason game. That first drive that went 3 and out, that was largely because Chuba dropped an easy first, like, if not an easy first down, he's catching that and he's running.
Same mistake he made last year when he was a rookie. He just he got to get over those mistakes, those rookie mistakes. You know, develop or move on.
Yeah, or the NFL will quite literally stand for not for long.
Right.
But to Kevin's point, in 2023 we have a first, a second, a fourth, and a fifth round pick. So we really don't have a lot going forward. And by the way, like, let's say the Panthers are good this year, and we did want to add another edge rusher. You know, if we were to give up any one of these picks,
do another CJ Henderson,
or even for like I'm thinking like another D lineman or something like that, like another edge player. You're not dealing with a lot of 2023 draft picks.
Yeah.
You know, if you did want to upgrade even further down the road, I don't know. I hear that, and you know, we haven't had a ton of draft picks. traditionally in Panthers history, we're not a team that normally has a bunch of draft picks.
I just don't like giving up draft picks when we have a lame duck head coach.
Yeah.
He could be fired, and then who wants to come in with that many draft picks?
Fitterer would turn that into 8 or 9 picks.
That's what I was about to say.
That's my point, though. And I get this discussion on Twitter quite often, but to me, I don't think that they have any. I don't think they have any thought process to let Rule go. I think the lame duck head coach is in fans' mind. I don't think it's in reality.
No.
I think even if we go only win 5 or 6 games, I don't think Rule's getting fired.
Well, but also I agree with what Drew said, and I'll let Drew expand on that more. I think with Fitterer at the helm, dude, I think it's so easy for us to have way more picks. Even if we do end up making some further moves, Fitterer is a wheeler and dealer. I can see him trying to get back into it somehow.
And you have to look, we've expanded our scouting department. These guys are really doing big time scouting now. So they're able to go deeper in the draft and find players that you're not going to get in the first and second round.
Right, especially if you can, like, if Brandon Smith, I fully expect Brandon Smith to become a starter. I fully expect Barno to be a contributor, possibly develop into a starter. If you look at what the scouting department and Fitterer are capable, like you're talking about a possibly franchise guy in Brandon Smith who was drafted in the 4th round, possible. He clearly has the talent. So I'm like if it's a case of bringing in athletic guys, talented guys, I don't care where they're drafted. Like if you want to trade out of the 1st round to get a couple picks because there's a couple players you feel are going to fall to the 3rd, 4th rounds, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I don't put a whole lot of stock into where a guy is drafted anyway.
And speaking of Fitterer, man, how about Brady Christensen? If Brady Christensen turns out to be the player that we think he is, that's another 3rd round pick where you found a gem. Then you go and do it with Brandon Smith. I really do think that Fitterer has done a very good job of finding very talented young guys later in the rounds too. Look at Davion Nixon. I mean, that's another guy. Look at McCall. That was a free agent signing. So I'm not too worried about it. I like what Viska Shenault does for our offense. And frankly, I think it's another way to keep Christian healthier, keep DJ healthier. And let's be real, man. Like, we really don't know what we're working with when it comes to Terrace Marshall Jr. and Shi Smith. Now, right now, to be honest, I'm more excited for the prospects of Shi Smith than I am Terrace Marshall Jr. I just think that he has looked better thus far with a shorter sample size, pretty much. But
I was joking.
Both of those guys are rookies, though, so you are depending on 2 young players that haven't really, proven a lot in the NFL. I wanted to highlight this comment because I do feel like this is a great thing to remember when thinking about Viska. He says, you got to remember he played his 1st season with Gardner Minshew, Tony's favorite quarterback. And his second year was with Urban Meyer as head coach and Trevor Lawrence. And even then, he did make some pretty good plays for them. So I think if you're the type of person that was optimistic about CJ Henderson, there's no reason to not share that same optimism.
How much field time is he going to get, though? That's where
I think that's the biggest thing, though, Kevin. I think you're right. The biggest question is, it's not that we don't have a need at wide receiver. We've got, we just don't. If, when we traded for him, everybody thought, okay, who's leaving? Who's getting cut? Who's going to be traded? Where's Robbie going? Yeah, that's what everybody's, I can't tell you how many times I posted on Twitter that when we traded for him, I said, wait a minute, if you can't really trade, you can, but it's going to cost you to trade Robbie. It's going to cost you more than you're going to get to trade Robbie this year.
What if the worry and concern is about Terrace Marshall Jr.? Him coming out, him being injured, him not playing like he's supposed to.
He's been having hamstring injuries.
Higgins, I think, is going to be the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Higgins gonna move.
I would
probably move up,
inactivate
maybe
Terrence
even
Marshall
number
Jr.
two.
Myself.
I fully expect Scott Smith to be pushing for the number 2 spot by like mid-season.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more Higgins and Smith. I think those are gonna be our 1, 2, 3.
Can I put it to you like this?
I think Robbie's going to ball out this year.
I think Robbie's going to fight him on that.
I kind of think that Viska, they're probably going to use him in short yardage situations. Like, think if you need 3 yards and you're throwing a slant across the middle, he's going to be able to catch the ball, but he's also big and strong enough to fight for extra yards. Like, he's big enough of a guy that if you're going to tackle him, you're making business decisions. It's not easy to tackle Viska Shenault.
Or use those touch passes. You know, those things we did with Teddy?
Yeah.
Always come behind the line.
It's funny because for all intents and purposes, Shenault is him and DJ are very similar. You know, like they talk about how DJ becomes a running back once he catches the ball. I see DJ as more of a finesse. Like when he breaks tackles, like there's that play in Dallas where he like bounces off the dude and pretty much hits the damn Spider-Man pose, then turns upfield and he takes off.
Yeah.
But I see DJ as like one of those finesse guys. Like it's his body movement and shit is how he breaks tackles. It's not just brute strength. Shenault, on the other hand, is just like, you could try to tackle me, but I'm gonna break something when you get near. Like he's just bodying dudes to break tackles.
Yeah,
it's I apologize for any sounds you guys may be hearing. Because my apartment is giving me like 4 or 5 feet from the fucking roads. So every 5 minutes, these rice burner hunters are driving by with these loud ass exhaust. So I apologize.
Hey, bro, I feel you. I'm in the same boat. Literally, my wall to my left is the sidewalk, basically. You know, trust me, I get you.
No problem, dude. We understand. I mean, yeah, I'm excited about the move. You know, I really do think this is the type of player that can add a lot to our offense. I think those, again, think about run pass options on like, you know, 2nd and 4. And you have Christian McCaffrey, Deontay Foreman, and you got Viska Shenault. Like, dude, you can do a bunch of different things, man. Maybe even fake it short, then take a shot downfield with Robbie or DJ. Like, it really does open up your playbook. And whoever mentioned Ben McAdoo, I think that's a great point. The fact that he had that, he already had a relationship with Shenault, and he already kind of knew what he was good at, and that makes me feel better because it lets me believe that Ben McAdoo already has an idea in mind for what exactly he wants to do with Viska.
Yeah, but we said the same thing about Terrence Marshall and Joe Brady.
So. But dude,
McAdoo's a better OC than like his limited this preseason vanilla offenses. The plays he was calling this preseason look better than what Brady was calling in the regular season last year.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I will say, the 2021 season, Brady was done no favors. One moment. I don't know if y'all can hear that. That's my son.
That's fine.
Real quick note to folks in the chat. Remember, no personal attacks on anybody.
Oh yeah, I definitely. By the way, if y'all see something that I don't catch with my eye, let me know and I can put the clamp on. Yeah, don't insult anybody in the chat or on stream. Talk all the shit about football teams and players you want. No one on here, or else I'll kick your ass out. But yeah, man, I've just been thinking about like this offense and what it has the potential to be, and you know. People know I'm not some big Baker Mayfield believer, but I'll be damned if he doesn't have all the weapons and pieces around him to be very successful. So,
Cody, would you say you're Baker bisexual?
Nah, dog.
Questioning?
I ain't there yet, bro.
On the note of what this offense could look like, with the addition of Chenault, I mean, just even without Chenault, like prior to him getting here, I was talking with some classmates of mine, and I was like, they were asking like, yo, what do the Panthers look like this year? And I'm going over everything with them, and it's like, could you imagine like just having a healthy CMC, and we come out on like a two running back formation, and it's Foreman and CMC, and then you motion CMC out wide, because I was explaining to them that when CMC is healthy, it's not like I've heard other Panther fans say, oh, he can play in the slot. Like, no, you're selling him short by saying that CMC could play in the slot. The man could play the wide receiver position if he chose. Like, he's running routes the way, like, he's running routes as a running back better than some wide receivers in the league do. So don't sell him short and say, oh, he could play out the slot. No, this man could be a receiver if he chose. You motion CMC out of the backfield, that's a mismatch. Who you sending out there with him? Because if you send your number one corner on him and we got DJ out there, then now DJ's being covered by a number two. You send a linebacker out there to cover him, that's a mismatch.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to pick and choose what,
do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, whoever you're going to cover, I mean, you're going to have to pick and choose, man. I mean, the Panthers have weapons now. We have legit weapons, and that's what I'm saying. McAdoo, Ben McAdoo, Baker Mayfield, Matt Rule, they have no reason to not go out and start very strong.
A fake the CMC to Chenault in the backfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe like a backward pass, throwing it down the field to like CMC, throwing it down the field to Robbie or something.
I'm telling you, I want the first play from scrimmage to be a play action pass. Like they fake it to CMC. Baker turns around, he sets, and he just hits Robbie for a 75-yard bump.
I think I want to see him and Robbie go off on the first game.
That's like all that talking all season, like, oh, Robbie doesn't like Baker.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man, just hit him for a 75-yard bomb. Let the Browns know that they fucked up. Let the Panther fans know that it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, that's right. I'm down for it. I think it would be hilarious if Robbie Anderson became Baker's favorite target. Like, that would be poetic.
I think Ian Thomas would be his favorite target, actually.
Yeah, and that's another thing, man. Like, these tight ends, like, I'm hopeful that they take a jump this year. Like, Tommy Tremble, man, how awesome would it be if that guy became a stud tight end for us, you know?
Tight ends take, like, 3 years to, like, actually really do something sometimes. Unless you're Pitts. Pitts is fucking...
YB Jordan says, how do I feel about Anthony Richardson? I'm rocking with him if we had to take a quarterback next year. I don't know. There's a lot of really good quarterback prospects.
I like Spencer Rattler.
Dude, Spencer Rattler sucks a big one.
He's a
real cock commander, if you know what I'm saying.
We missed out.
Dude, I wish so bad that they would have let y'all been called the cock commanders.
He even said that in an interview. He's like, what? I actually thought we were going with cock commander.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. That seems perfect for a bunch of cock commanders. I loved it. Whatever.
You'd be you guys would have the most popular mascot in all of college football.
Yeah. The cock commander. Oh man, that is funny. But yeah, I'm really like, there's a lot of players on this offense. Like, I've been impressed with Brady Christensen at guard. I think, I was very hesitant to say that I felt Christensen could play guard full time. I think he has done well in the preseason. I just think overall we have a pretty damn good team right now to be able to go forward with.
I can't remember who it was that said it. I can't remember if I heard it on C3 or PNP, but it was stated that this past offseason we had to cut guys that in the past they would have been starters, but we have so much talent on the roster right now. Those guys that would have been starters that could have been backups, like there's legit depth in competition where like you just like Rule talked about how he didn't the guys like they didn't pick up anybody on the waiver wire and shit because the guys they had to cut they wanted to keep some of those guys. Like that's good.
You remember when Scott Fitterer was in the season? He said he was calling for backups to trade for. He couldn't find anybody.
And then a couple months later, we're sitting here like just pick point and pick. A player that people probably aren't contemplating or are thinking about. Hecker, the punter. Like I legitimately, as I try to expand my knowledge of football, I'm watching these punters and the guys with fucking cannons for legs, and I'm watching Hecker out. Like every time he punts, I'm like he's out kicking the coverage, man. They're gonna fucking take that one back, and no sooner as the ball starts to drop, do you see Panther players starting to show up into the screen. It's like, oh, 50-something yard bombs, and he's putting it to where he's putting it on the sideline, so you're getting pinned. You got the sideline as an extra defender, and you got Panther players just rushing in on you. Like, bro, it's beautiful to see. Like, the special teams could possibly be a strength of the team. Defensively, Brandon Smith,
I know,
like that.
right, for once.
Porno.
Last time it was.
Yeah, I'm like it's the more I think about it, like as Cody said, there's too much reason. Like I have to temper my excitement. Like, hey, let them get out there and show what they can do. But talent, just looking at the talent on this roster, I'll say it like this: if this roster was given to an Andy Reid or a Mike Tomlin or a Sean McVay, there wouldn't be a single Panthers fan that would say, no, this is not a Super Bowl or this is not a playoff bound team.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
for sure. Rule and company, that's the reason why they got to go out and show it. McAdoo, he's shown that he's had success as an OC. Like, get out there and put those guys in a position to succeed. If they do that, it's all a matter of the players executing. And I truly do feel that we have players that if it's 1v1, you're the Browns corners. Y'all about to get dogged. Y'all ain't got nobody that can cover DJ. And if you try to bracket him, you forgetting about CMC. Robbie can eat. Shy can eat. Higgins can eat. That old line, the better, like the more time they get together, the more unified they become. Like, it's good time to be a Panther fan.
Oh, it's a great time to be a Panther fan. I'm like, it really does put into context. When you mention all the players that we have, you're not going to be able to deal with all of them. I mean, when you look at, even if you look at the Browns D line, right? Like, they got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett, but I don't think that their interior is that great. I don't know what their linebacking core is looking like. I know they have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I really liked him coming out of Notre Dame. But other than that, yeah, I agree with you, JD. It's like if you took a respectable head coach and put him on this team, I feel like every other analyst out there is saying that the Panthers are a legitimate contender to make a push.
Cody,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. They were talking about their defense and everything, but like we had the number 2 defense last year. How many wins did it get us?
Yeah, I mean,
like they have Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. I mean,
yeah.
Where was their defense last year? A good defense holds the team up. Their defense was nowhere to be found last year. Browns fans can use this excuse all day long. Well, it's because of Baker. No, it wasn't. It's because your defense is overrated, and that's the cookies in the milk. You're overrated.
It was some Baker.
So their defense is overrated. I'll die on that hill.
Hey, put the emojis in the chat. That's what you ought to do. All right, by the way, if you would like to, you can join C3 Panther Nation and become a super fan for $1.99 a month, custom badges and emojis, and random giveaways. We're buying a bunch of cool shit, and we're going to just pick random subscribers to the channel to give away all kinds of cool Panther shit that we're getting. Yeah, man. So if you'd like to, hit that join button. There's another thing I wanted to bring up that happened today. And again, I wasn't home all day, so this happened and I saw that apparently this had caused a big outrage and a big story or something. So Baker Mayfield has launched these official shirts. They are officially licensed shirts. And let me.
He also has a headband.
So these are the shirts, and apparently everyone's big time pissed off about this. Now, not so much the first one. This was pretty cool, Baker Mayfield. And again, it's like I'm noticing it now. You see the bee crushing the doghouse at the bottom left.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
dude. There's so much symbolism here.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you have to
That's
kind of
all.
look for it first. But then, hold on, we're not done. Because then the second one, Baker Mayfield off the leash, 1 day only. He has
I didn't
the
even think
chain.
of that either.
Yeah, he has the chain being broken off. So a lot of people are like, okay, maybe he may not have said, I'm going to fuck them up. But this is how you know Baker Mayfield feels that he's going to fuck them up, dude. Because, I mean, come on. You're going to release a shirt like this, and you don't believe you're going to go out there and fucking torch them?
Now, see, I would buy a T-shirt if it said, we're going to fuck them up. I'd buy a
Right.
T-shirt.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. But dude, apparently Browns fans, they were real pissed off at this.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the doghouse, and I didn't even think about the leash. It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were a Browns fan, wouldn't you be pissed at everything? I mean, you're paying was it $230 million for your allegedly pervert quarterback to lay out for 11 games?
Yeah.
Your defense is massively overrated. You're you're promoting your career backup quarterback is going to lead your team. If you're a Browns fan, you got to be pissed off.
And also, they live in Cleveland.
Yeah. They live in Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, come on. What's not to be pissed off?
I have a pharmacist. She was telling me she's from Ohio. And she was saying, yeah, they advertise about moving to Charleston. Like, come to Charleston to move here. I'm like, damn, how do you advertise to move out of the city?
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, that is true. Baker Mayfield paid $3.5 million to leave Cleveland. I mean, I'd just be stuck there. I ain't got $3.5 million to leave Cleveland.
Some reason Donovan Mitchell wanted to go there.
Yeah, poor fella.
Shout out to James Wilson in the chat. He says, he says, as Browns fans and some who've been on the show, I just want to say Baker has every right to say what he said. The dude had his livelihood taken away. I'd be upset too if I were him.
Right.
But again, that's what I feel too. If you're Baker Mayfield, dude, you can say fuck the Browns, man. Yeah. Like, I'm certainly not going to be pissed at you. No real Panther fans are ever going to be mad at Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Also, the players understand that. Like I said, I called in on Tuesday's C3 show and said, I didn't call in. What the hell am I talking about? I put it in the chat. Like the players on the organization, the Browns organization, they understand this business. So for Baker, if I'm Baker, I don't have any issue with those guys on the team. I have an issue with their front office. And because you guys work for that front office, you play for the Browns, I'm sorry, we can be cool and shit off the field, but between these lines, I gotta dog you. I gotta show them that they fucked up. And y'all gotta be the ones out here that's being made an example of, but that's the nature of the business.
Yeah, I mean, as much as some folks want to deny this, the evidence is overwhelmingly there. Their quarterback said, when it was all made official outright, the first team that Watson said no, absolutely straight off the bat, was Cleveland. He said that before he even negotiated with anybody else. Then he negotiated, and then there's negotiation. He found out the Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons and the Bucks. Well, I don't know for the Bucks, not the Bucks, but they all said, no, we ain't guarantee you all that money. Then he picks up the phone and calls Cleveland, and they said, yeah, sure, we'll guarantee you all that money. And then they open their mouth and say all this BS about Baker Mayfield. Why would he not be mad?
Yeah.
Also, his backup makes more than him. Like a lot more. Like a lot more.
Dude, can you imagine? So, okay, what's your thoughts? If Baker Mayfield goes out and torches the Browns, like, did y'all remember what he did to Hugh Jackson? Like, the very next year, Hugh Jackson was hired by, I think, the Bengals or someone.
Yeah, they played him, and he wouldn't shake his hand or something.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield was like flexing at him, like, fuck you. Like, oh, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Like, do you think he's going to do that to Kevin Stefanski and the Browns?
He's
going to take the high road.
I got a perfect one. All I need Baker to do is to pull a Steve Smith Sr. in 1889 after the game and tell him to go mow his lawn when they get their ass back to Ohio. That's all I need him to say.
Yo, them two are friends now, man. He might do that. Tell him to ice up.
Oh, dude, Steve Smith, that's Baker Mayfield's #1 fan. I mean, really. They went from going at each other on Thursday Night Football, saying shit about one another, to now Steve Smith is like the #1 defender of Baker Mayfield. He
Honestly,
thinks that guy is the shit, you know?
Honestly, that's how most of my friends got married. Hate each other 1 minute, and next minute they're shacking up.
That seems like a normal relationship, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, you guys don't do
that? Yeah, who doesn't do that, right? Isn't that what a relationship is? I mean, you know. Maybe I'm just being the balance, but yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I had for the show. I'm looking over my list.
Let me ask you this real quick. Do you not think it was odd? We were 6th on the waiver wire, so I mean that's just fact. We were 6th. There was 5 teams ahead of us that put a good claim on somebody. We had the 6th spot. We didn't claim nobody. Didn't even put any claims on nobody.
Yeah,
I thought that was really odd that we did that. I mean, I know we went to training camp with all these folks, but there's clearly folks that, you know, I thought that were worth it. I mean, one of the best things, one of the safeties I like who plays real good nickel corner was shipped off to the Eagles. So that was a good deal.
Yeah.
For the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit surprising. I don't know. I mean, again, we all felt that at some point in time they would upgrade the defensive end position.
Yeah.
They have not done that.
No.
So I really don't know what's you know. I'm assuming that if there was someone that was actually on their radar that they really wanted, that they would have honed in and grabbed that player. I really think that their mouth was watering for Carlos Dunlap earlier in the season. And then when that fell apart, all bets were off in terms of actually upgrading the D line. It is what it is,
and,
man.
You know, speaking of the Titans, though, where we shipped off Dennis Daly, there's rumors coming out that Daly may actually start week 1 for the Titans.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
That's,
who do they play week 1?
Oh, I knew that before you asked. I did, but the folks I chat with at work. Yeah, I think it is.
Because I know the Colts. The Colts are playing the Texans.
They play the Giants.
No, they play the Giants. Yes. They play the Giants, and then week 2, we play the Giants, don't we?
Yes.
So.
Now, if CK was here, it would be time for him to use his sexiest voice and welcome our new member. But instead, he's got to put up with my ass, dude. Welcome Nick Montiero to the C3 Panther family. He's always been a part of it. But, you know, now it's just extra official.
I'm sorry.
Nick
sorry, Nick.
Montero, welcome to C3.
Yeah,
sorry,
there you go,
Nick.
Pickle.
What a
That
letdown.
was close enough. I'll take that.
Yeah,
About time, Nick.
What a letdown. That's what my
What
wife
a
said.
letdown.
That's
Everyone
what
wants
my
to get
wife said.
I
CK.
asked the
Gets
question
Cody.
on how to do it last week, and nobody wanted to answer me on the YouTube chat. So now I'm kind of finally catching up with things.
Yeah, so I did check it. So if you do have an iPhone, you literally have to go under Google Chrome, and in the URL where it says like mobile/www/ you take it off of the mobile, and you just make it like a normal HTML page, and then that join button pops up. So yeah, for all iOS users, it's kind of an ordeal. But if you do it, we certainly appreciate you. And dude, I've been working on emojis. I got more coming. I'm still working on them. We're gonna have badges and random giveaways. So join. Feel free if you'd like to. Is there anything on anyone else's mind as we kind of peruse for last topics of the night here?
Well, seeing as how we now have our 53, we know who we're playing, what we're playing, when we're playing, that sort of deal. We want to do official roster official standings at the end of the year.
Oh, like game predictions or
yeah,
we can do some game predictions.
Let's do it.
I'm done. I'm gonna let y'all do it because on Tuesday night. So I'm gonna get all of yours, and then on Tuesday we're gonna do our official C3 predictions. Me, Tony, CK, and Greg. We had a bunch of other ones, but dude, they were terrible. Like I was assuming.
If we're gonna do that, we gotta have you be the tiebreaker, though.
We gotta have what?
Yeah, you gotta be the tiebreaker because there's 4 of us doing it. Then if there's two. Well, I don't know if JD's still there.
Yeah, JD's still there. Drew had to pop out. But
I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah. We can do that.
So Cody, you got to be the tiebreaker if there's 2 and 2.
All right. Let me pull up the schedule.
Well, we already know who we're playing week 1. So what do you guys think?
Yes. It's got to be a win. They can't lose
it's
that
a win. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a win.
I think it's going to be ugly, but it might be a win.
Yeah.
Only because of Deshaun not being there. That's it.
Yeah. I think we might actually have like a great defensive outing.
I expect it, and maybe it's just a lot about more hope, but I expect our defense to look better than it looked in preseason.
Just because of their quarterback, and like all they have is what's his name, the receiver.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Cooper.
The Brown center is just really bad, y'all.
The Browns have not won a week 1 matchup in almost 3 decades.
JD, say that one more time, bro.
The Browns have not won a week 1 matchup in almost 3 decades.
Dude.
There's a first time for everything, boys.
No, don't say it, Nick. No, don't say it, Nick. Dude, look, I think we're...
Here's the thing, man,
Yeah.
okay? Because you haven't seen me since the Pats game, all right?
Yeah.
I have been to 5 Panthers games. Each one of them has been a loss.
Yeah.
Ever since I have been a fan at the end of 2018, we have lost. So until this team shows me otherwise, sorry, no. I don't have very much faith.
I hear you, bro.
My first 4 games, they lost too. My first 4 games. First game I went to, 2008 playoffs. Jake Dillon throws 6 interceptions and fumbles.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Listen, I want this team to do good, and I expect a little bit from them. So that way, whenever they do a lot, I'm very pleasantly surprised.
I'm wired different because I'm always expecting or hoping for the best, and I'm always disappointed with that 2018 season 6-2, and I'm like, yo, that's yo. If we go 6, if we're able to go 6-2 down the stretch, man, that's an easy playoff berth, and don't win another game for the remainder of the damn season.
We do play the AFC North this year, so you think us getting Baker helps that? Like
I mean, he plays when every time Baker's played the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow was on the podcast and he said he's yet to beat Baker. Like
they play the Steelers, they play the Ravens. I mean, they inside information. They know
Hey,
how.
Nick, Drew said, "Keep your ass away from the stadium."
I told you, I'm a Falcons fan now.
Oh yeah. Be a fan, dude. That's perfect. If you really want to be a fan, if you're that much of a jinx, become a Falcons fan. Make sure that they never fucking win. Although, to be honest, the Saints probably need it more. The Falcons, they don't need any extra jinx. They have enough on their own, dude. They can lose terribly even without your help.
Have you seen the meme with when they traded Matt Ryan to the Colts? It was for the third round and the 82nd pick. He turned those numbers around, 28-3.
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, see, that's what lets me know that there's a God, you know? Because of little things like that. That's how I know. But yeah, man, look, Nick had a good idea. Let's run through these, man. We're just going to go real quick. I'm going to go through each and every one of you and just tell me what you're feeling right now. Cleveland Browns, week 1. And by the way, let me check my calendar. I think there will be another Friday show. Yeah, so there is going to be another Friday show 2 days before the game. So we do have one more Friday. And we're going to have a brand new segment. And yeah, let me go ahead and tease this real quick. That every Friday from here on out, there's going to be a brand new segment for everyone to be able to participate in. And there's an opportunity for y'all to make some cash. Okay? So, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Keep it tuned to the C3 podcast. This Tuesday night, we're going to be dropping some news. And yeah, it's going to affect some of the stuff that we do this season, man. So it's going to be real fun. I think everyone's going to enjoy it. Well, let's run through this, man. Number 1, Panthers at Browns at home, 1 p.m. Let's go to Panther Pickle. What you thinking? Or whoever wants to jump in first. Panther Pickle might
That's
be
a W. That's a W. It's got to be.
I'll go with a W. Fuck it.
Panther Pickle, you there? He unmuted himself. I thought he was. All right, so that's a W. New York Giants. To me, if that's not a W, then I don't know what it is.
That's the Ben McAdoo revenge game.
That is true.
Oh,
We had
I
a
like
Panther
that.
revenge game.
I
Panther
like
revenge
that.
game too. They whipped our ass last year.
And we owe him for that.
Last year.
At what point is Brandon Smith a full-time starter?
Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
Can you
Pickle, I can hear you now.
All right, that's good.
I say by week 8.
That's good.
Oh, you think week 8? So I did listen to Ben McAdoo. He did a press conference, and he was saying that they anticipate that at linebacker, Brandon Smith will be playing this year. Now, I'm hoping that it's sooner than later, but they anticipate getting him reps.
I don't think it'll be due to injury either. I think they'll just like try to ease him in, see what he can do, like give him a few plays, early in the season, and by like mid-season, he's going to be the guy going out there with the ones. He's going to be the starter.
That's similar to what Snow said. Phil Snow said the same thing. Said that they have to get him involved, and somebody, I think it was Snow that said he envisions Brandon starting before the end of the year. I think it was Phil Snow.
Yeah, it was Snow.
Yeah,
I watched it.
I watched it too. He did say.
Yeah, so
they've all been talking a lot about Brandon.
I just say in the past, I've never been once all that concerned about hearing what the coaches have to say. Not so much with Rule, but almost every time the Panthers post like there's an interview with this coach or that coach, the wide receivers coach, I've found myself much more interested in seeing what these guys have to say, and I honestly can say I like what I'm hearing from them.
Same. Every time I hear Phil Snow talk, I'm reminded of why he's my favorite coach on the roster or on our team. I like Phil Snow. I like the way he looks at defense. Panther Pickle, what did you say on Browns and Giants?
Oh yeah, Browns. We're gonna beat the Browns.
All right, W on the Browns. What about
Yes.
the Giants?
W on them too.
All right, so far nothing but W's all the way around. Week 3, division rival, them damn New Orleans Aints. Boys, what's happening?
Who's their starting quarterback?
That's going to be
Jameis Winston.
That's going to be a W, and because in my opinion they don't have a left tackle.
Yes,
their rookie was placed. Right? The rookie was placed on IR.
Yeah, same as Sam.
Yeah.
So after week 4, he'll be eligible to return. But yeah, they will not have him for the Panthers. And by the way, that's where Brian Burns is. So Brian Burns is going up against their number 2 left tackle, whoever the hell that is. So
and I fully expect Horn to phase out Slant Boy.
Yes, let's go. I love that, man.
All right, I'll be the outlier. I'm saying we're losing.
All right. Why?
Like I've said before, I don't have faith in this staff yet. That's it.
Okay.
It's the coaching staff that I don't
even blame you, man. I was fighting with people on Twitter today. Like, now all of a sudden, there's like a contingent of Panther fans that are like Matt Rule apologists. And if you say anything bad about him, oh, you're a pessimist, you're negative, and all this horse shit. I'm like, dude, if you're hopeful about the season, fine, be hopeful. Don't let me piss in your cornflakes. But like, don't pretend like Matt Rule has been anything other than dog shit the entire time that he's been here.
He's looked inept all too often.
Wow, y'all,
100%.
Have you looked at the Saints' offensive line? They almost as bad as the Bucks.
Are they really?
Yeah, James Hurst is their quote starting left tackle. He's got a bad foot injury now. The coach said that he believes he should be ready for the opener, but we'll see. Forrest Lamb.
I'm knocking on wood right now.
Andre Pete is their left guard. Their backup, Forrest Lamp's on IR. Nathan Greenwood's on IR. I mean, they other than their starters, they ain't got nobody else out there noticeable.
I said this before. I said it before. Like, to me, the only thing that stops this team from making the playoffs is ineptitude with the coaches. Like, McAdoo goes out there and just shits the bed. Ineptitude and injuries. If the coaches are in their bag and this team is able to remain fairly healthy, there's no reason why this team shouldn't be playoff bound.
Yeah.
Even their nickel corners got a sprained ankle. They're racking.
Damn, they're all banged up.
They're all banged up. I mean, there's a bunch of people on IR. I can't even tell you how many people's on IR.
No, I hear you. All right, so far, everyone else has us going 3-0 except Nick. Nick has us at 2-1. Arizona Cardinals. And by the way, be keeping track with your own record. Right now, everybody's at 3-0. Nick's at 2-1. And y'all write this down too. So that way later on in the year you can look back on this and say, okay, I was a little bit right on this one. I was way wrong on this one. But for the most part, we can kind of compare and contrast what we think we are right now to what we end up being. So I think that'll be fun. And again, we'll probably do this again next Friday when we have more people too. Just to get more people to, maybe some last minute amendments if people want to change something here. But all right, now let's move on to week number 4. Arizona Cardinals at home. Still, that's a dub, right?
I'm calling dub.
The Panthers do nothing but beat the ass of the Cardinals.
Hopkins is out too,
Yeah, Hopkins is out.
They haven't beaten us since 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and call that a W. Yeah, it's going to be a W.
I think last
that's a
year we
dub.
should have lost that game, but it was a fluke. So I'm sticking with my normal.
All right, a bunch of people have us at 4-1 or 4-0 right now. Next at 3-1. Then
No, 2-2. 2-2.
2-2. Who are we losing to?
Cardinals.
The Falcons or the Cardinals.
Saints and
Oh,
Cardinals.
so you think we're losing to the Cardinals too?
We
All
didn't
right.
play against Kyler Murray when we beat him last year, so I mean,
Okay. San Francisco at home, 405.
our upset. This is a win. I'm calling
5-0.
because of Trey Lance. I don't know. I've been hearing bad things.
Yeah, I've been hearing those too.
I
But I
think
feel like I've heard both.
I think re-signing Jimmy Garoppolo is a sign that Trey Lance isn't good.
Or they just can't find a trade partner. But like,
If I'm not mistaken, the Niners have a fairly tough schedule of their own to start off with, and I was listening to Pat McAfee. He was talking like by week 5, you could see Jimmy Garoppolo as the starter if Trey Lance is just struggling, and the coaches feel like it's Lance holding the team back, but the team itself is ready.
From what I heard about Trey Lance, or Jimmy Garoppolo rather, just opinions, is that the Seahawks were sure to take him in free agency once the Niners cut him. But the Niners wasn't going to trade him to the division rival Seahawks.
That makes sense.
And they didn't want to lose him to the Seahawks, so they did their best to talk him into redoing the contract so he could stay, so they wouldn't lose him to the Seahawks.
And okay, so just to play devil's advocate here, if I think if we're talking about Trey Lance, Kevin mentioned Trey Lance not looking good. People are having some worries about him, which I've heard both. I've heard him looking good and looking bad, depending on the source. But either way, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, do you look at it as, well, maybe if I take a pay cut and if I stay on the team, if Trey fucks up, there's a good chance I'm the starter again in no time, Like, yeah, maybe that was his mindset and the reason why he decided to take
I think
that
our
pay
DBs
cut.
are going to ruin. I think our DBs are going to do it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right, so we're through 4 games. No. We're through 5 with the 49ers. Then.
Oh, I also say loss on that one. So.
Okay, so we're at 2 and 3 for Nick. Who all has us undefeated right now?
Through the 49ers, yes.
5-0.
5-0.
Panther Pickle and so
What do you
everybody
think,
except
Panther
Nick.
Pickle 5-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
5-0.
I'm writing it down right now. So.
All right, cool, perfect. All right, now I have a feeling I already know what Nick is gonna say if he has us losing to the fucking Cardinals. But we're going on the road to play the Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams. What happens here?
L.
I think we play them close, but they pull it out. First loss of the season.
I think it's a blowout.
Dude, the only reason why I feel like this is a loss is because of Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the only, like, I feel like our interior, we haven't seen Bradley Bozeman yet. And as of right now, Pat Elflein has not been better. Listen, I've been a fan of Brady Christensen. I think that he has done very well. But come on, like that's tough for fucking anyone, man.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what's that quote from that Kobe Bryant commercial? That man is a whole nother beast and a different animal.
yeah, that man's a whole nother beast inside of another animal, swallowing another murderer. Like that guy is.
And hope you don't lose your helmet, because he'll pick you up and smack you upside the head with it.
For no damn reason other than the fact that you lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Dude, Aaron Donald's the shit. But really, like, other than that, like,
See, it
Dude,
would.
but hold on, can I say one more thing, Pickle? Like Matthew Stafford, he's been known to throw some interceptions.
Yes, some pick
He's
sixes.
definitely been known to throw some interceptions, and I'll be damned if we don't have the defensive back core to make this into a game, dude.
That's
So
why
I'm
I
just
think we
saying.
play them close.
But
we don't know the running back situation. Like they're still like coming off like injuries, serious.
But see, I got to be devil's advocate. This is what week of the season? This is week 6.
Yes.
I don't think we'll be healthy all the way through there.
Probably not.
So
I'm holding off for
I have to say for a reason, if we're going to lose, that's going to be who we're going to lose to. I can't mark all these as wins, but I sure want to. But
yeah.
You know, so.
I mean, that's the thing that gives me reason to pause. Like I know, up to this point, I have us 5-1, but with the Niners and the Rams, it's not so much. Like I said before, the talent on our team. I feel like we can go toe to toe with anyone. It's the coaches. And
exactly.
They will scheme guys open. Shanahan will. You can give Shanahan shit for players, and he will put some shit out there to get some open lanes. Like I think the last time we played the 49ers, they were gashing us. And it was like guys you never heard of. They're running the ball and they're getting 5-10 yards a pop.
Right.
He had them guys rolling. It's their coaches that's
the Atlanta Falcons were crap until Shanahan went to be their offensive coordinator. Then they went to the Super Bowl. He left and they went back to being crap.
I'm telling you, man, it's these established. If Rule wants to be taken seriously in the NFL, he has to establish something about himself. And for all intents and purposes, it's been said that he's not an X's and O's guys. So that means he needs to bring in coordinators that are X's and O's guys. Snow has shown the propensity to be a great defensive coordinator. The question mark is McAdoo. McAdoo is out there willing and dealing. There's no reason why I could very well see the Panthers, like I said, 5-1. Hell, 6-0 possibly, but I'm saying 5-1 right now.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers said he was very confused when he played us.
Yeah.
So I imagine like a guy who never started NFL or he's played like 1 or 2, but like
and is there so no everyone has us losing to the Rams.
I'm
correct?
pretty sure,
yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Now, have you all heard the rumors? And by the way, you could have guessed this. Like, you didn't even have to know that it was a rumor. But you know how Tom Brady left the team for a little bit?
He got Botox.
Everyone's saying that, but I honestly don't think that he looks that different.
He looks different.
I don't know, man. Like, I think it was that video. If you see a picture of him, I don't know. Either way, apparently the missus is mad at him. Giselle is mad that he's playing NFL football this year.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So, you know, people have stuff going on, but also, and Panther Pickle alluded to this, that offensive line, at least as of right now, is not looking very good, man. They have a lot of injuries. They're kind of in shambles at the moment. Again, it is a contender, though. What are we feeling? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, week
I say
7.
L. I think we take an L.
Yeah, I think we do.
I think we win that one. The Bucs are not involved in this winning. You take Tom Brady completely off that team. What do you got?
7-9 win.
Tom Brady would come out tomorrow and say, "Enough's enough. I'm done with football, and I'm never playing it again." And go back home to Mar-a-Lago or whatever the hell he lives. And
Blaine Gabbert.
At that point on, the Bucs are winless.
Yeah.
So and I've always thought that Tom Brady wasn't going to make a gradual slide. He was going to be a complete drop, and I think we're going to see that drop this year.
Do you think we're going to win, Pickle? Or?
I tell you what, though,
I do
Pickle,
think we're going to win.
I feel like every year there's someone that predicts that that's going to happen to him.
Oh, Max Kellerman.
Yeah, and then it never happens. So maybe you're the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I mean,
Or
Clark is right eventually.
Rather, maybe you're the pickle that breaks the camel's back.
You know what? I have predicted this man was going to take a sharp drop heave for probably 10 years now.
No.
Eventually, I'm going to be right.
Oh, all right.
Eventually, I'm going to be right.
Yep.
And when I'm right, everybody going to know about it.
Yep. I approve that message.
I told you this 50-year-old quarterback wasn't going to be good this year.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, let me take a moment and welcome Locks Main to the stream. Locks Main, everybody knows him from the YouTube chat room. Locks, you there, bro? You're on mute.
Yo, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Yo, I know I'm a little late, but I'm here now.
No, it's all good. Hey, man, better late than never, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We're predicting Tampa Bay, Carolina, Tampa Bay. So is everybody saying this is a loss?
I say it's a loss.
Pickle.
Yeah, 5-2.
So Pickle. So all right. So Pickle is the only one that says it's a dub.
Hey, is it at home or on the road?
It's home. At home.
And this is what week 7 or week 8? What we do?
7.
I'm trying not to be a homer. I'm gonna say I say dub.
All right. I like that. And again, as of right now, they're not healthy right now. Again, that's week 7, so it might be a totally different thing by then. Yeah. But all these teams are filled with human beings who bleed red blood and have bones that break. You know,
not Tom Brady. He bleeds something weird.
Yeah, probably like
Botox,
avocado ice cream or something. You know, but Botox and avocado ice cream. All right, week number 8, ATL in Mercedes-Benz.
6-2.
6-2. Everybody saying dub?
Yeah, we're good. We're good with NFC South on the road, but never at home.
Yeah, I know that, dude. That needs to change, man. We have to defend our dirt against the division rivals at home. It's paramount.
We must defend this house.
Well, some people are in the chat room saying 2-6. Damn, bro.
Hey, I'm not far off, man.
I thought Nick was a tough customer, man. But nah, chat room is saying even worse. All right.
How many guys Baker hater?
So everyone has us beating Atlanta.
G-Baby would be proud of you, Nick.
I know he would.
Yeah.
But you know what? After what I saw at training camp and what I saw at that Pats game, yeah. It's going to be a little negative.
I hear you, man. It's prove it season. It's time for...
Hey, Locke, do you think we're going to win week 8?
Which one's
Locke,
that?
you there? That's Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's Atlanta, 1 o'clock on the road.
Oh, they beat Atlanta.
Okay. Because I'm going through, I'm writing all this down, so.
We might have to get some of Locke's next time for 1 through 7. But Sunday, November 6th, Cincinnati Bengals. What's everybody saying?
I say a win.
That's a dub?
I say a dub.
Ooh.
Is it home or away?
That is away. That's in Cincinnati.
We're going to lose that one.
I'm going to say L. That's an
What
L.
would you say about Baker? What would you say about Baker and Cincinnati?
Yes, but we're going to lose that one because by then, these young players are going to think that the baddest sons of bitches in the planet and go out there and blow one just because they're high on themselves.
Oh, okay.
So, JD, did you say that we were going to win? Or did you say that we were going to lose?
Yeah, we're going to win that. 7-2.
Cody,
7-2.
Huh?
What do you think, Cody?
I mean, remember, man, I'm holding off on my official, bro.
I know. I was trying to
Yeah,
get you in there.
yeah, you can't get me, no. Nah. I may be handicapped, but I'm not slow. You know what I'm saying? My chair is pretty damn fast, if you know what I'm saying, bro.
Just wait till I go down there. I'll hook up a 24-volt car or 24-volt battery.
Dude, I used to have 2 air horns on my wheelchair, and I almost scared the dude. I've almost caused car crashes before with that fucking thing, dude. I'll tell y'all some stories one day. But that's for another time. Then we got Atlanta, Cincy, then Atlanta. So Thursday night football. This is the premiere of our black helmets.
We lose.
Thursday night football.
Yeah, we'll lose that one. We
no.
Dude, we don't do good wearing black. I know people want us to wear black. That's the end
It's
thing.
because it's never been complete.
I know.
The silver has thrown it off.
I tell you what, we'll in that game, when we lose that game, you can get out here and tell me why we lost that game. Because I'm going to think we're going to lose it.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose it.
We're going to win.
I want us to win that real bad. Just because it's Atlanta and it's them new helmets. And it would be the story thing. But yeah.
So how many have us going 1-1 with Atlanta?
I do.
No.
I do, but I'm gonna flip mine because I thought before we would win the away one and lose the home one, but now that we're doing the black on black, we gotta win that one. We can't lose. So
yeah, I agree, man. Dude, I'm tired of those black jerseys, like Pickle was saying, being like a jinx. Tony is a proponent of this theory too, man. I'm not down with that shit, man. I don't believe in it. We just have to play better football. That's some of the best outfits in the NFL.
Right.
I'll fight anyone on that, dude. Anyone.
All right.
Love
Locks,
the
what do
All
you
Blacks.
think?
We'll see.
Locks,
Hey,
what do you think about Atlanta, man? At home?
Well, we rarely sweep them. Like I don't remember the last season that we swept them, but I think this year, I don't think they're gonna be really that good. So I'm gonna give them a sweep this year. I think we're gonna sweep them.
Yes, sir. I like that, man. And at home, Thursday night, that's our only like real prime time. We have a few other 4 o'clock, but I don't know. That's a big time test for us being in prime time. We're not a good prime time team, and Panther fans know that, man. It's like in prime time we have not done well. So moments like that, that's big.
A while ago, you said we had to take back our dirt. We had to control our dirt. We can't even control the seats, the fans. We can't even make the seats our home, much less the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, that's a point, man. But it takes moments like those, winning those big primetime games, winning at home. That's important, man. And the Panthers can go a long way in doing that this year if they pull off some W's. Moving on, Baltimore Ravens.
That's a
So
loss.
what are we at? 6, 7, 8, 9,
I could
10,
see
11.
us.
Week 11.
I could see us beating the Ravens if for no other reason than the fact that they have a bunch of no names at their wide receiver positions. But again, their head coach Harbaugh, I'm gonna have to say we take an L there.
I want to say L, but I'm going to tell you this: they got a bunch of no names. They're going to try to win this year on the legs of their quarterback. That's just how they're going to win.
The Ravens are doing to Lamar what the Panthers did to Cam.
Yeah, they're going to run that man to death. Late in the season like that, he's going to be injured.
They really are, aren't they?
JG. I'm always wrong about these things. I'm just going to say it's a win for that reason, but I'm always wrong about these things.
The Ravens are like my pseudo AFC team, in part because of like Ray Lewis. Like when I first started playing football, I tried to be like Ray Lewis and shit. And yeah, so I always fought with the Ravens. I like their colors, that black and purple, that darkness and shit. And from the little bit of attention that I paid them over the last couple of years, they're legitimately his top receiving threat right now is his tight end. He's a very mobile QB. I hear a lot of people say he can't throw from the pocket, but then I'm seeing him accurately throw the ball side on that bitch sometimes from the pocket. They're doing to him exactly what the hell the Panthers did to Cam. They're not putting him in a position to hell. Even the offensive coordinator was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers when they got I forget his damn name.
Colin Kaepernick.
And
Greg Roman, right?
Kaepernick's numbers went down each season with Roman as his offensive coordinator.
I think that's their biggest problem is their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Like they
really do.
The same way I feel like if the Panthers had, I firmly believe had the Panthers brought in Norv Turner earlier in Cam's career, you would have seen a better passer of the football from Cam. Obviously, they would have needed to improve the offensive line, but the same thing is happening with Lamar. Like they're depending on his athleticism, and it's allowing this narrative that he can't do it from the pocket to be continuously pushed out there. The dude, he can throw it from the fucking pocket. It's just he has the added benefit of, oh, you think you're getting close to me? Let me take 2 steps, and now it's a cloud of dust.
Yeah. No, I agree. But my problem is, and I'm getting some feedback. I don't know where exactly it's from. But my problem is, though, is do we have the linebacking core and the pass rush to be able to keep up with Lamar? By the way, I wanted to highlight this comment. Chunk in the chat room said, we're 2-9 right now. CMC and Dante will both be hurt by now.
Don't say that.
Dude, Panther fans are so jaded, man. We expect the worst. We really do expect the worst. Okay, Denver Broncos. Now, I feel like what we have going with the Cardinals is like the exact opposite with the Broncos. I feel like the Broncos, every time we play them, they always kick our ass. In fact, I don't know if the Panthers, so if you know, I've been a fan since 2011. I don't know if the Panthers have beaten the Broncos in the time that I've been a fan. Like I really don't think that they have.
I thought they played Jake Plummer one time and they beat him.
Well, because remember in 2013, Steve Smith put Vaughn Miller into the dirt. Yep, I got some feedback coming from. I think that was on JD. Remember when Steve Smith put Vaughn Miller in the dirt? It was like a blindside block, and you put Vaughn Miller on his ass. That was a loss. So I don't know, man. We have tough outs against Denver. What do y'all say, man?
That's an L.
What did I put down? I think it's a win. Or no, I think it's a loss. I forgot about
That's
that.
home or road? I said, is that home or road?
That's at home.
The Panthers at home?
Yeah, we're gonna be at home against Denver.
Oh, okay. I got a dub. That's a dub.
All right, dub on Denver. JD, what say you, man?
As much as I want to say it's a dub, I'm gonna say we take an L there.
Okay. White chocolate. You say L?
L.
Pickle, you say L? You're muted. Hey,
yes, it's an L.
Okay, it's an L.
Pickle, what did you say for week 11 too?
The Ravens.
That was the Ravens.
It's a win.
Okay. And then how about you, K-Bosh? K-Bosh.
For week 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ravens.
Oh, yeah, L.
L.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So then, thankfully, we have a bye week, December 4th. Then, Seattle Seahawks, December 11th, in Seattle. So on the other side of the country.
That's definitely a win.
The Seahawks will not allow us to lose that game.
Okay.
Because the Seahawks' plan is to suck this whole year so they get that number 1 pick. And
Oh,
be
is
damned
that
if
what
they're
they're
going to
trying
let
to
the
do?
Panthers spoil that shit. So we're going to
Okay.
win that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of W's. JD, what say you, man?
Yeah, that's a dub. The boys gonna be done had 2 back-to-back weeks of losing. Then they're gonna have a bye week, the stew on those 2 losses, and they're gonna come out and put foots in the Seahawks.
I like that. Put the feet to them. Put a foot on their neck. I like that shit. Locks, what say you, bro? On the road in Seattle.
It's kind of tough because I see this every year with every team. There's always 1 or 2 games that everybody expects to win, and there's always 1 or 2 games everybody expects them to lose.
Yep.
And I think this might be one of those games that everybody predicts them to win, and then somehow they find a way to lose the motherfucker. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
say
can see
L.
that. All right, I can see that. All right, Lock says L at Seattle. There's a few games on here that I think are they're sneaky for us. You know, like it's just a lot of it depends on what these teams are going to be. I feel like I know what everyone's going to say about this next one. Pittsburgh Steelers, December 18th.
That's a dub.
However, it is at home. We're here. In Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium. Pittsburgh Steelers, what say y'all?
W.
Lose.
I'm gonna say
Well,
L.
Nick's going to the game, so
Nick's going to the
Nick is
game.
going to the game.
Nick's going to the game. You're guaranteed we'll lose that one.
That's a L.
We'll probably lose a couple players in that game.
Oh no, don't go, Nick.
Don't go that far,
Nick,
bro.
don't go, bro.
Too late. Already bought
Oh,
the
fuck.
Airbnb.
Damn it, Nick. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny's going to whip our butt on that game too.
Oh yeah, you think it'll be
JD, what say you?
I think
you
Mitchell
think
could
it'll
still
be,
be in there. I think the Steelers are pretty good this year, actually.
Can you pick it by that point in time?
Yeah, I think they will before the end of the year.
I think Trubisky's going to
A
surprise
lot
some
of people do.
Trubisky may do, but I think somewhere along that year they're going to put Kenny Pickett in there and play him a couple games.
JD, what are you thinking about Panthers versus Steelers?
Again, talent-wise, I feel like we got them, but out of respect to Tomlin, we taking the L that game.
Yep. And it's funny. I knowing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, over the cap.
Mike Tomlin's the only one of the first things that you say about this team is that because they have a head coach like Mike Tomlin, you're positive that they're gonna be a good team, man. It shows you what difference a
completely
coach
different
makes.
from us.
Yep. What comment, Pickle?
Over the cap. That dude that ad over the cap is what he calls himself.
Oh,
I think he's a Browns fan anyhow. If I want to live in my lie world, I can. If I whatever I'm sniffing, it ain't none of your business. So go back there and sniff you some Watson.
Whatever you're sniffing, just
and by the way, Nick, how many people even have us at 12 wins?
I don't.
We got
Not yet.
JD has us winning quite a bit. So does Panther Pickle. I'll add it up all at the end. So.
All right. So this is all right, Locks. What'd you say about Pittsburgh, bro?
I say we lose that, 21 to 55.
Oh, so that's gonna be a big.
That's gonna be a
big.
down,
Yeah.
man.
That's David Tepper's former stomping ground. David Tepper wants to beat the Steelers so bad.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna get that. But like Locks was saying, those sneaky games that come out of nowhere, and you lose to a team that you're not supposed to. That Lions matchup, I don't know, man. People are liking Dan Campbell and some of the players that they got up there. What are y'all saying? We only have 3 games left in the season at this point. Detroit Lions at home.
So if I'm not mistaken, I have us at 9-5 right now, and we're definitely getting the dub right here. So 10-5.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot.
I say that's a
10-5
win.
for G. All right, White Chocolates is dub. Nick, come on, man. We have to beat the Lions, right?
Well, seeing as how it's the game that I'm also going to, they're going to tease me because I said before, if we lose another game that I go to, I'm not going to another one again. So we're going to win this one.
Yeah, all right, dude. We're going to reverse the curse of Nick Montero. We need to get a W while Nick is in the stadium, so that way it can be a thing that whenever Nick is in the stadium, Panthers are winning football games, dude.
I'm telling you, bro. We win while I'm down there, and it's at that Lions game. Like, we lose the Steelers game, we win the Lions game. I'm sitting in my seat, and they're gonna have to force me out of the stadium because it's like, no, this is only happening once in my lifetime. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yep, I'm never leaving. I'm never changing my shirt or my underwear. I have to savor the moment, dude. No, I hear you. I'm the same way, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, y'all. Last matchup with Tampa. And by the way, the Detroit Lions, that's our last matchup on the road. No, Pickle, did I get your Lions prediction?
I think we're going to win that one.
All right. W on Lions.
Yeah.
Locks, Maine. Lions, is that a dub or not?
Dub. That's a dub.
That's a dub. By the way, that's our final home game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit Lions next to it on the road. Raymond James Stadium, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see, Panther Pickle.
Bucks. The Bucks. The Buck stops here. I said before, I'll just say we're going to lose that one because I don't think I already said earlier we was going to beat the Bucks. I believe by the end we're not going to. We will lose to the Bucks in that game.
Okay.
So with my record prediction at this point in the season, the Panthers and the Bucks are going to be. I see it as a 3-way race.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers, the Bucks, and the Saints. We're all going to be fighting to take the South. We're going to make it hella interesting because of that Week 17 matchup. We're going to beat the Bucks here.
All right. I like that, man. Week 17. I mean, dude, at this point, that's a tough schedule to end with if you're trying to make a playoff push. That's tough, man. All right. You say L?
Yeah.
To the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Okay.
Yeah, I was debating, but I think we take L.
No, you're good. Okay.
I think we get swept by Tampa this year.
I hear you.
You already know what I'm thinking, so.
Yeah, I do. I do know what you're thinking on that one. I think I know what you're thinking on the last two with Tampa and New Orleans, probably.
That you do, my friend. That you do.
Yeah. Locks, Maine. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, final time on the road. Who wins?
You know, I gotta go with the L. I can't see them sweeping because I know I had them winning at home. I don't got them winning on the road, so that's an L.
That's me. Right. I can't see him sweeping the Bucks.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, man. And then New Orleans, it'll be a different team than the one that we saw in Week 3. So what are we thinking, man? We're winning the last game of the season.
I think we're winning that one, and the Bucks will be looking for a new coach and a new quarterback.
The
Saints. The Saints will be looking for a head coach and a quarterback by then.
Okay. All right. I like that. Sean Hume, he says, how do I get on? There's a link in the description down below. But honestly, brother, we're almost done here, and I'm about to get off. I'm gonna go and join Greg on his dude, I'm blanking.
Geeks chasing squirrels.
There it is. Geeks chasing squirrels across the multiverse, dude.
Yeah. Did we pick the last game?
But thank you, Sean. I do appreciate you wanting to come on. We're on next Friday for sure. We're on New Orleans, January 8th, last game of the season.
I say L.
All right, damn. Kevin says L. Pickle. Yeah, you had this winning, right?
Yes.
Okay, JD.
I have us winning these last two matchups and securing the NFC South. That's the 4th seed.
Shit. I like that. I like that, man. I like the optimistic nature on our team, man. Like it's a best case scenario. This is a lot, assuming that our defense is going to be good, that Baker is going to step up and be good.
Yeah, this is all me being an optimist, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't blame
This. So I'm predicting that my most optimistic prediction is 12-5. My pessimistic one is 8-9, 9-8.
My optimist is 10-7.
Y'all hear that, Browns fans? We going to the Super Bowl, and we gonna fuck your ass up in the process.
Yeah, I like that. Talk shit to these Brown fans. Let them know where they at. I like that. All right, Locksman, final game of the season. New Orleans Saints on the road in the Superdome.
I'ma say L.
L. All right, got a lot of L's right here. Got a lot of L's. JD, we got your Saints?
Yeah. I have us going 12-5 on the season and taking the South.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to win the South. Yeah, I like that. I like that all day, man. All right, what's our tally that we have so far?
So JD's at 12 wins, Panther Pickles at 11. White Chocolate, you're at 10, and I'm at 5.
Dang.
And Locks, you came on a little bit late, so I'll add yours in next week whenever we go back through it.
Yep. Chunk says 5-12.
So if I can, to explain my reasoning behind believing that this team could go 12-5, there's a possibility that they can go 13-4. My reasoning behind it is on your right hand, you have the Panthers going 17-0. And on your left hand, you have the Panthers going 0-17. Reality is this team is too talented to go 0-17. So you're more likely going to be somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle is 9-8. I feel like this team is definitely more on the right. They're closer to that right hand. I mean, I ain't predicting them to go 17-0, but they're much closer to that right side of that spectrum. So 9-8 at worst, and up. Like I genuinely see the team going 12-5.
I'll give my pessimism picks next week.
All right, man. So, dude, look, we have a lot of widely varying predictions. And, some people in the chat are saying 5 wins, 6. Sean Hume is saying undefeated. I like that, man. Dude, the talent is there. The talent is there. Even in the linebacker position. Yeah, go ahead, Locks.
No, I was about to say, for week 1 we play Cleveland. I got a dub. So Nick, you gonna write that down. For week 2 we play the Giants.
Yeah.
I can bring it back.
I got that as a dub.
Okay.
Who we got week 3?
Saints at home.
I got that as a dub. We got week 4.
Can you see the screen?
No, I can't see.
Week 4 Cardinals at home.
The car is a home or the road?
Home.
I got that as a dub.
All right, then 49ers at home.
Trey Lance, I got that as a dub.
All right. LA Rams in LA.
That's an L.
That's an L. Tampa Bay at home.
I think I already said that one, didn't I?
And then week 11. That's the other one I'm missing from you. The Ravens.
The Ravens, home or the road?
Away.
That's an L.
All right. So still mostly W's, I feel like.
And then week 18, Saints.
L. That's an L.
Yeah, L.
I think you're right around 11 wins. 1, 2, 3.
So, dude, if we're 11 or 12 wins this year, that's an upgrade. Do y'all think that gets Baker Mayfield a second contract? 11 or 12 wins?
It depends how he plays.
And for me, in order for Baker, because I could see the team going 12-5 and Baker essentially being a non-factor. To that, if you are a Panther fan that's rooting for Corral to become the starter, talking about why Big Jordan, that's what you would want. You would want to see the team succeed and say, well, Baker really didn't help. We could easily start Corral, and this team should see similar success. If Baker's looking to be a long-term option for any team, he needs to take the reins of this. Like every analyst says it, this team will go as CMC goes. Baker needs to go out there and show people that no, it's not CMC's show. This team goes as I go.
If he can get like a 2-year contract, I think out of it. If they go that many wins,
franchise tag maybe. Or do y'all think franchise tag is just not an option?
I can see a 2-year contract.
I put it like this. It all depends on the stats. If let's just say I got the Panthers as a top defense this year. I think they're gonna be top 5 overall defense, at least a top 5 overall defense. I think if Baker can be anywhere like a Jake Delhomme, let's just say he throws, 21 touchdowns and like 8 or 9 interceptions for like 3,700 yards.
Yep.
I think the franchise tag will probably be too expensive, but if they can get them like on the cheap deal, cause like remember in 2003 when Cody wasn't even a fan then, when we had the top defense and Jake Delhomme was pretty much he was just like a game manager. The team won, but his stats wasn't really all that great. I think if Baker Mayfield can be anywhere in that range, somewhere between like 20, 21 touchdowns and like say 8 to 10 interceptions for like 3,700 yards, I think he can get a decent deal. But if they do franchise him, it's to sign him to a short term, a decent deal. He would have to actually ball out to get the franchise tag and get like 30 million or something like that. But that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is around like $30 million for the franchise tag. So it probably would be cheaper to pay him at that point. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's anyone's guess, man. We're gonna see this team form right in front of our eyes, find out if they are legit, the real deal right in front of our eyes. And it's gonna be fun, man. And you know what? The C3 Panthers podcast is gonna be here the whole time. All fucking season. That's what we do, man. C3 Panthers podcast. We put out Panther content for the fans, by the fans. I hope you have all enjoyed today's Friday Free For All. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can feel free to now join the membership and be a $199 member. Get badges, emojis, perks. You can win prizes that we're going to be sending you guys. And guys, please feel free to use our sponsor, manscaped.com. Use promo code Panthers for 20% off all your orders and free shipping. If we can sell at least 8 of these, then we're going to have a long time sponsorship from Manscaped, y'all. So we definitely appreciate you supporting the show. Gentlemen, is there anything that you want to plug or promote or say or do before we get out of here? You know,
shave your balls.
Yeah, shave your balls, bro.
Nobody wants hairy balls.
Yeah, no one. Literally no one. Not me.
I can't do
All
that.
right, look, I'm just gonna go around and let everybody say one more thing before we get out of here. Panther Pickle, appreciate you, brother. Happy to have you. Where can they find you if people want to follow Panther Pickle?
You can find me on Twitter at Panther Pickle. I'm there all the time, and I'm frequently involved in arguments or discussions, not arguments. I should say discussions.
Yeah, that's what Twitter's
particularly
for.
with 1 or 2 people, by the way.
Yeah, right. With always,
who enjoy my presence.
Oh, they do. They definitely do. Dude,
So-
that's what
Hey,
you
TJ.
learn. The people that claim to hate you the most and get pissed off the most on Twitter, oh, dude, those are the people that are happy to have you, man.
Yep.
Because what would you be on Twitter without the people that you're bitching at all the time?
Right.
That's literally the point of Twitter.
That's
you
how
know?
we became friends.
Yeah, you know, I just
They used to
that's
give me shit all the time.
yeah, you're right. Just to give me
By
shit.
the way, real quick, did y'all see that beat down Tennessee gave Ball State?
No.
I
the
I
beat
heard
down.
about it. I heard that
Yeah,
it was pretty,
Tennessee going to give Pitt the beat down next week, I think.
nice.
Yeah. Just
All right,
just to let you know that in advance.
No, you're right. And Sean, I'll let you join next Friday. I promise, brother. The link will be in the description to join. I'm about to get out of here, so it wouldn't really even be too much of a point. But I'll definitely get you on here, man. This is free. It's called the free for all for a reason. It's free for all comers, brother. You know I don't give a damn. Nick, my man, we're trying to reverse the jinx this year, so that way when Nick goes to Panther games, we can expect a big fat fucking dub, boys. Let's go. I like that shit. Nick, what do you have for the show before we jump off of here?
I know I'm hard on this team, and it's not that I don't think that we have the right players or even necessarily the right coaching staff around that rule. It's this team has shown me a lot over the years to where I'm better off being pessimistic and just accepting that could be the reality that we face instead of being optimistic like I was at the beginning of last season after we got 3 wins. So even though I'm tough on the team, just know that it's not because I dislike the team. It's just what they've shown me. I can't trust them right now.
Yeah, you're
And
allowed to be.
I'm just
You're allowed
hoping
to
that they
be a
change my
realist
mind.
Yeah, you're allowed to be a realist fan. I know I am, man. Like I want people to show. I want this team to show me that they have that kind of fight in them, and that kind of longevity in them to do that this season. So, absolutely, man. Locks, you have anything you want to say before we jump out of here, bro?
I'm gonna say I don't like overly optimistic fans, and I don't like overly whatever that word is, fans.
Pessimistic.
Yeah, I like to keep it in the middle. I know my record is a little overly whatever, but I think this team is probably going to be really good, especially on defense. I think the offense probably is going to take a little bit of time, but I believe the defense is going to be a top defense all year. But I also believe that there's going to be a couple of games where the defense just look like, they ain't worth a damn. But don't be overly pessimistic, and don't be overly the other word. Hey, but that's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say.
No, you're right. I like everything that you're saying, man. Like, dude, every opinion is is reasonable at this point. You know, it's like you can have the opinion that we're going to suck or that we're going to be incredible, and you can find evidence for both. I feel like so.
Right.
I feel that. I feel that. JD, appreciate you joining the show once again, man. How can they find you? Is there anything you want to say before we jump off?
Not a whole lot, man. The first thing that come to mind is like and subscribe, support C3 channel. It's legitimately for the fans, by the fans. Like, no other podcast that I'm aware of does what Cody's doing on Fridays and what C3 does throughout the week with the content that they put out. So most definitely, if you in the chat, you haven't hit the like button, you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that. All right, go pound the like button. All right. Other than that, Panther Nation, you know what we do. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Look, help us kick the ass of the YouTube algorithm, man. Hit that like button, smack it around a few times. Let YouTube know to put the C3 Panthers podcast in front of Panther fans how it should be. That's all I ask.
Cody said, hit that like button and smack it around a few times.
I said smack that motherfucker around, bro. Give it a smack across the mouth and let the algorithm know it's C3 time, baby. That's all. That's all we need you to do, man. Smack around that like button a little bit. Hey, man, shout out to James Island Panther for the $5. You know I appreciate you, brother.
You the man, James. You the man.
Hometown. Home city or town, whatever.
And Sean Hume, no worries, brother. We're definitely gonna get you on here, man. No problem at all. But definitely hit that like and tell your friends, man, about the C3 Panthers podcast. Next up, white chocolate espresso, my man, a midget wrestling connoisseur. Talk to him, man. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, being an asshole, like everyone else. Hit that like button, slap it. Slap it like Georgia Tech's going to slap Clemson around the Week 1 matchup.
God, all Gamecocks fans just fucking delirious.
Yes,
we all are.
I know. A bunch of cock commanders, dude. What else can you say? But ladies and gentlemen, that has been another edition of the C3 Panthers podcast. I'm your host, Cody Lashley. I appreciate each and every single one of you. We will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for another edition of the C3 Panthers podcast. Until next time, keep pounding.